going to do this tonight. Hey, welcome to the Bob and Tam show tonight.
We're here.
There you go.
There's a whole lot of people's on yet. I don't think anybody knew we were coming on. Neil called earlier and Mike called earlier. Those are the only two that called and asked. So we're out here in Sturgis. We're at the Sturgis Brewing Company here in not downtown Sturgis, but right off the freeway here. We're right on Junction and the 90s. So as soon as you come on, right here, can't miss it. Great place to eat. We had some flatbread pizza tonight. That is very good. If you like thin, crunchy pizza. So that's what we got. Looks like Living Life Force. Hope you like it. Love. I have got my glasses on. I can't see. We're using all of our phones tonight. So a little bit printing. Love Gun 69. There you go. Says, hi, kids. And Pating. Gotta say Pating to everybody. He's putting it on all the other Facebook pages because some people don't do YouTube. They only do Facebook and so on and so forth. Randy's on. Randy Picard. Watching from Canada. Are you coming down this year for Sturgis, Randy? A lot of Canadians are coming down. We've got some Australians coming out. We've got some people from Ireland coming. So we've got a lot of people coming out this year from all over the world, not just the United States. So if you're coming out, there's only 40 days left until the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally starts.
Official kickoff day, depending on when you come.
That's August 1st. So Randy says, hopefully. That's good. Hey, Skippy Jones is on. Hey, Skippy, how are you? Ron's on. He says, hi, guys. Looks like you're having a good time. We are getting a lot of stuff done. Tuesday's going to be a crazy day. We've got like 12 interviews scheduled for Tuesday.
We got a big announcement today we're going to be giving you. So you got to hang out a little bit for me to tell you. We got something that we have never, ever been able to do at the Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. So we're going to be
time for everything.
That's right. So we're going to be letting you know about that in just a little bit. So stay tuned to hear that because it's actually anybody that's coming to the Sturgis Rally or anybody that.
Could I get a water too, please?
Yeah. Anybody that would even be wanting to know what's going on at the Sturgis Rally. This will be breaking news. We should have just saved it for a breaking news story day. That would have been good for that too. But that's okay. I don't know.
Well, we'll do it here because sometimes we're going
to tell you what news is. Can't tell you all the answers because we'll talk about this in a little bit. So we're here at the Sturgis Brewing Company. They don't have a lot of things going on during the rally, but what kind of cool about this place is one, it's air conditioned. It's pretty quiet. They have a little bit of music in the background going and stuff.
Very low key.
Yeah. And they have like 20 something brews on tap here that they make in house. I think there's only 2 brewers that they have that aren't their own that they have on tap here. So it's kind of cool. We had flatbread pizza tonight. So we've had that before here. So it's kind of cool. Kind of the cool time to come here is between 2 and 4 o'clock. There's not a lot of people here during that time. So if you want to come out and you're here at Sturgis, maybe it's a hot day, you want to cool down a little bit, come in here. There's plenty of tables to sit down, have a cold beer or soda or
hot chocolate when it's cold.
Yep, and enjoy your time and take a little break from the heat or before a concert's coming on or something like that. So they're down here right at the intersection of 90 and Junction. As soon as you get off the highway they're right there on the right-hand side. Not on the side going to Von Knocker Road.
Exit 32.
Yeah. So you can come right off there, and they're right here. They got a great staff. Actually, no, we're still working on it. Okay. And really cool place to go. They got really good service. The waitress has already been over here 3 times since we've gone live in just a few minutes here. So got really great service here. The food's really good. Like I said, the beer is really good if you want to drink some beer and stuff. So just FYI, the Sturgis Brewing Company. And,
good place to come.
Yep. And they got a car wash right next door. So if you want to clean your bike off or something or hold your car, truck, or whatever you got, you come in. So that's kind of cool. But you have to watch out because it's very powerful.
Yep.
Oh, somebody wrote a lot.
Yep. I'm keeping up. Captain Adventure's on. He says, hi, guys. Scott's on. He's one of our sticker people. So he's on from Annapolis in the house. Skippy says, we had been in the storms last night. Oh, no, I hope you're okay. Power out all over around here. Going to be out for at least a few days. Lucky our power came back on after 4 hours. There was a tornado, I think. Hope you're all doing well. Yes, there was a really bad tornado that went through North Carolina or North Dakota.
Yeah, one of our subscribers that actually works at Black Hills Harley Davidson. It's her son. Well, they had a tornado 20 years ago. He's got an 18-something house, 1800s house, big giant house, had a full shop next door. It's all gone. It blew it all the way down to the foundation. There's nothing left. They lost 80 cattle. But they have to dig a giant hole and put them all in the same one. They've got sheep that are just gone. They don't know where they're at. Two dogs they've lost. They just blew away. They still haven't found them as of when we talked to her yesterday. So, prayers out to everybody like that. Because typically, South Dakota, North Dakota, it's not common. Like I say, this was at his area. It was 20 years ago was the last tornado that came through.
That's right.
So typically, we've been talking to people around Sturgis here because the whole time we've ever come out here for the last 20 years, we've seen warnings, but never anything about a tornado coming out. Yes, definitely hail. Hail is really bad here. They had it up there too. They had like golf ball size or baseball size or something they had up there too.
So yes, Ron, the Gas Monkey Bar is still open. It's open and in full swing. They've got their banners up, and they're going to have bands this year. So they're kicking it up a notch too. Oh, I got a commercial.
So did I.
And
wait a minute. Everybody's got one.
Then we can stop. How about that?
Yeah, so maybe everybody gets the same commercial. Did you just get a commercial? Well, all of our phones just went to a commercial mode. So, hey, if it's happening to everybody, we'll just stop at the same time.
There you go.
And wait a second. Yeah.
So, Gas Monkey is open and open for business. He's open year round. So, he's sponsoring the Trans Am rally that's going to be in the middle of July.
Yeah, July 11th through the 15th.
Something like
He's going to be in here probably the 9th or the 10th. He should be here and we'll be able to get with him and find out what's going on and what his plans are for the rally and things like that. So we're just now getting Tuesday. We got a bunch of appointments. We're meeting with a lot of people in town, business owners and stuff, and a couple of the big campgrounds we're meeting with to talk to them about what's going on in their issues and things like that. So yeah, the things are starting to come together. We've got I got another ride video that we're going to put up for Monday. It's going to be on a ride that you can take from Black Hills Harley. A nice little ride that you can go out and have one of the great food. Yep. And out by a lake. And so we're going to show you how to get there and everything. So not too long ago. Then we do a little bit more. We did another ride down to 385. It was a little rough at one area, probably, 25 feet was really rough. But to see all the
pilot cars don't work during the weekend because I guess the people aren't working.
Yeah. So there's lanes on both sides going. So, but what they had been doing when we went to the other day, they kept steamrolling it. So here some stuff came up. So they're probably going to have to repair that and get it down. There's probably still time that they're going to be able to rock chip it.
Or even asphalt it.
I don't think they'll get the asphalt. I think they're still working too much on cutting the hills out along there. And they don't asphalt to the last thing they do because those big heavy cranes and backhoes and all that stuff to tank treads would just tear up that new asphalt. So we did ride on a whole bunch of the new asphalt that we rode on a couple weeks ago that still had pilot cars. That is all done and it's really smooth. You'll see some of that on the video Monday. So I've got that video all done. I just got to upload it when we get back and then it'll be posted for tomorrow evening, our normal time. That'll come up. And then
Neil's on. He's in Minneapolis. He said he's having a heat wave. I'm freezing, Neil. I'll switch spots with you because it didn't even hit 70 today, did it? I don't think so. It's chilly for me. Anything under 80,
the sun it did come. The sun was out a little while ago. We left the full throttle saloon a while ago. Let me look and
Skippy
see.
says they never get storms like that up there. Neil says, please hit the thumbs up and ring the bell. And Skippy said hi to Neil. Neil said hi to Skippy. And Devin Mike's on. Hey, how are you guys doing?
It's 68 degrees right now.
Cold. It's cold.
Feels like 68. So we're supposed to get some rain. Yeah. Tonight, it's only...
I didn't have hot chocolate here. I called. I said, you guys have hot chocolate? I'm freezing. They said, no, we got coffee. And I said, no, I don't drink coffee. And
so we're going to get down to 50 degrees tonight. 50. Tomorrow, it'll be... only high tomorrow is going to be about 74. Partly cloudy again. Might get some rain tonight, possibly. We're back in the truck because it's just kind of windy. Looks like Tuesday is the day we're supposed to get the biggest chance of rain. Yeah. There's a 50% chance, 60% chance, Tuesday night, 8, 9 o'clock. They're predicting a little bit of
They said
rain.
Tuesday and Wednesday was the
And
biggest
Wednesday,
chance.
they're predicting maybe rain throughout the evening at night. Looks like most of the day they're predicting rain too for Wednesday. But same thing here. We've had a prediction of rain almost every day, and it's only really rained here one day. The day after I washed the truck, it got all dirty.
The day you washed the truck,
Oh,
I
was
think
it
it was the same day.
And so yeah, it got rain really just a good rain. It wasn't nothing, no flooding or anything like that, but it was okay. So yeah, once again, we had a question tonight that was on our Sturgis page that was kind of interesting. Somebody asked, "Is what should I wear? Well, how should I ride my bike? What should I wear? Should I come in full leathers? Can I wear jeans? Can I wear a t-top, tank tops? What can you wear?" I said, you can pretty much wear anything you want. The only thing we don't see a lot of here is shorts and sandals.
Like in Florida.
Yeah,
in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah. We don't see a lot of that. Not saying there wouldn't be somebody in shorts, but I mean, I haven't seen it. I don't think I've ever seen that I can recall.
Although Joe and Lisa are coming out, so
Okay, they might be a bit of shorts and sandals there. So yes, it is possible. But typically, you can wear pretty much anything you want. There's some people that wear a Batman outfit. Batman and Robin has been out here. We've had a guy wearing a monkey suit riding around on motorcycles. We've had a tiger guy dressed up in a tiger suit.
Buffalo guy.
Yeah. So yes, anything
goes here.
what you're appropriate with and what you feel comfortable with. If you're going to be, some people like to wear leathers. They're for, if they're going to ride,
safe.
they don't want to slide down the highway or something like that. Somebody else just, I wear a t-shirt and jeans. I'm one of those people that doesn't matter if I always put shorts on, even if I'm pushing my bike in the garage, I burn my leg.
Yeah.
So I pretty much wear jeans all the time. When she's on the bike, I always wear boots. When I'm by myself, sometimes I just wear tennis shoes. That's just us. But whatever you want to wear is what you should wear. Definitely bring rain gear. Just like Tam today, she brought this nice light jacket, and then she was over there at the Full Throttle looking to buy a new jacket. I'll do some more tea.
Yeah, but it was like $65 or $68, the one I liked. I don't like Skulls and all that stuff. They had one that just said Full Throttle. It was a light gray jacket, and it had orange and white on it. And I thought, I like this one, but it was $68. I'm like,
I found they got those Dickies jackets, like work jackets, that they take the patches off and they put the logo on the back for Full Throttle. They were pretty cool. They had them for $35, which I would have bought one of them. She's gonna wear my jacket. I would have bought that. And,
I brought a real heavy one with it's got a fleece lining and everything inside of it. I should have brought that one, but it was pink, and I didn't have pink on today, so it didn't
do
match.
that. Her OCD's coming out again. So
let's see who else is on. Neil said Janice will come on when she gets home. Ron says hit the like button. Devin Mike says that sounds like nice weather. It was 103 there down in Florida, Fort Lauderdale. Whew, that's warm. Neil says, Tam, I'll trade places with you. Yep, I know. He sweats in 60-degree weather. I don't know. I'm freezing. Mike says, is Rockford Rod paved leading south off
we have not rode
the Rockford.
He's probably already asked that. We have not rode that yet. We'll probably go down
Watchford
because it's closer to this end of town, because we're in Rapid City right now is where we're staying at. So we're probably not going to be doing that till maybe, just depending on how things go, but probably not till we get
after next week.
Yeah, after the 4th of July. We'll probably be doing that ride. Because I was kind of thinking about it the other day, because we were close to it.
Thank you.
Inch more sugar. Yay!
She remembered.
Bad news is most of the places here do not have fresh brewed tea.
We're up north. It's not like being down south.
You got to wait for Johnny to come in town.
Yep.
He always has tea.
Yep.
And so, yeah, they should
have Bill's on. He says, afternoon all. Scott said road, yes. Watch.
It's raw.
It's like watch, but with an R. Rochford Road.
Yeah. It's a Rochford to me.
Yeah. Neil says commercial. We already had ours.
Yeah, we already had our commercial.
Art's on. He said, the Ting Nation, hello, Bob and Tam. And Guns and Rides is on. He said, I hope to catch up with you guys again someplace out there when see you at the rally. And if you guys have our number, text us, because a lot of you guys are coming out, and we'd love to see every single one of you. But I'm not going to remember who's coming what day, and we'll try to keep an update of where we're going to be and when we're going to be.
Right.
Somebody just asked about a ride too. If we're going to do any rides, they said they can't wait to go on a ride with us and go out.
We thought about it, but we just haven't made it. I'll say the idea is there's still people here we're trying to meet with to set up all of our meet and greets. So we're going to probably have 2 or 3 meet and greets throughout the one, maybe in pre-rally, and then maybe 2 during the rally, because we've got so many people that are coming different times. So we're going to see what we're going to do. We will probably definitely still be doing rides during pre-rally, just like the other day. So you might have seen that video that Chris came with us, right? Chris did the ride with us. Who rode with us?
Chris, yes. No, Chip.
Chip. That was close. We could see at least. And he rode with us. He rode with us. And so he just came along with one of our adventures where we're out filming one of the rides. So same thing with that. If you're here, just like here, if you're here tomorrow, well, we're not doing any rides the next 2 days because it's supposed to rain. Probably the next 3 days, we're probably not doing any real riding the next 3 days. And then next Monday we have to move. So the 30th we'll be coming over to Kathmandu. So there probably won't be no riding on that day. So pretty much this week it would just depend. Maybe Thursday, Friday, the weekend we may be doing some stuff. Sundays we're starting to do at the Full Throttle Saloon. They've got something. They've got the motorcycles, cars, and guitars.
Cars and guitars.
Yeah, there you go. Going on every weekend. They've invited us out. They'd like us to come out every weekend. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So that's kind of exciting. Go on. We'll give you a little bit of information right now. So one of the biggest complaints that we've gotten about the Full Throttle Saloon has been the food. And so over a couple of years ago, I don't know when it was, but used to be Michael had a lot of people. He had Fajita Mike and a whole bunch of people used to do the food and stuff. They used to do it at the old place, went to the new place, and it kind of got to where they kind of all disappeared. Ended up being one company, which is the same people that are in front of One Eye Jack's, came over and started doing food. Like when you first walk out of the main building to the left, there's that big food stand there. And they usually have one on the other side too. And it's the same group. It's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of like the carnival. It's kind of like the people you see down on Main Street and stuff like that. That's got the trailers, same thing, but they got a booth. And people have complained that it's too expensive. It's not the greatest food in the world. Well, they've always had signs up there the last couple of years that said, this is not the Full Throttle sponsor. This is a vendor. So just FYI. But what they're doing this year, for one, that we're going to talk about, is they're going to have a smokehouse there. If you are standing there looking at the main stage, it will be to the left of the main stage. Right now, during the Sundays event that they have going on right now, they're trying out different meats. So today, rattle off all the meats that they had today.
They had a hamburger, which Bob said had some pork in it. Thick. It was at least an inch thick.
It's either 3 or 4 of the best hamburgers that I've ate so far.
Yeah. And they put cheese on it. They also have pulled pork and they have brisket. I had the brisket. I had just a little taste of the pulled pork. It was really good. And the brisket was excellent. I love that. They have poppers, which I'm not real big on poppers because I don't do hot stuff. It had some heat to it, but it wasn't like I can't eat this. I ate the whole thing. And it's got like cream cheese in the middle of it. And I think it had some chicken in the middle of it.
Bacon.
And then it was wrapped in bacon. It was.
And a pepper.
Yeah. And a popper. Jalapeno popper. It's a jalapeno.
But you didn't get a stick?
I didn't get the stick. I just got the jalapeno.
But you said, how good was it?
It was really good.
For something she didn't eat. They gave it to me and I'm like, I'm not going to eat that. So I gave it to her. I didn't know if she'd eat it or not. It came back and it was completely gone.
It was good.
So,
well, I make them at home, but I just use they're just like peppers, like bell peppers, the red, the green, the orange ones. And so this is definitely a jalapeno. But I was talking to him last week and he says if you take the vein out, scrape most of the vein. And then I think he said you soak it in salt water and that'll take a lot of the heat out. I don't know. Whatever they did, it was really good. I could taste the heat, but it wasn't like I couldn't eat it.
So right now the prices for a hamburger is only like $10 in a sandwich. Everything's pretty much $10.
I think the brisket was $15, but the burger and the pulled pork was $10 for a sandwich.
Now it will be a little higher during the rally, but even at that, if you could get like what we ended up having is I had a hamburger, had baked beans. They call them cowboy beans, and they were pretty good. They had bacon and all that stuff. They really had a good taste. And then they had green beans, which are like the real green beans, not out of a can or something. They were the crunchy ones you break in half. And
They
they
want
had
a crunchy
they had
taste.
cooked them with potatoes and onions and a whole bunch of stuff, and they actually were pretty good. I was very shocked.
I'm shocked you ate them too.
Yeah, and because usually I'm not a big one to eat that style of green bean. So I was very impressed. But I mean, if you could get that whole plate for under $20, that's going to be a great meal during the rally. So if it's
It
10
was a
now,
hamburger, like I said. It was at least an inch thick.
so
Real
we,
juicy.
we should
smoked.
get before the rally, we should get you what the current prices are going to be. But right now, that might be the place to check out during the rally to eat at is the Full Throttle Saloon. And it hasn't had that in a long time.
And it'll be out.
I told him, when you look at the stage, it's to the left of the stage, and it says the Smokehouse. They put a big sign on the front. It's one of the wooden buildings they had sitting there before. I don't know what was in there before. The taco wagon they had some issues with it last year, got damaged inside, and so probably it's not going to be out there this year. So that might be why Michael's looking at getting a little bit of different food to come out there. But this is taking it to the next level. I'm they actually want us to come out for the next couple weekends until the rally comes and try the food that they have because they want our opinion because they know we eat at all these different places. And they're trying to see if they rank up with some of these better restaurants we have. Like we have JR's we always recommend. We're right now talking about Lewis's burgers out there in Lee. That's like one of the best right now. And I told them if they could get that bacon, they might have.
That would be the top of it all.
They would be the best burger to eat in town. And but he says he's not done playing with this hamburger to see what he can get better taste out of it. Like I say, right now, say he's missing a little pork with it. I noticed that it had a little bit of a different taste, but it was really good. And
it was smoked too.
Yeah, so
that's fresh.
I think that's what got more than anything else was that they were smoking it. Where most of these other people are cooking their burgers on grills. So I like smoked stuff anyway. I like barbecue, things like that. So, but I mean, this burger was like this thick. It was like almost a pounder. It was more than half a pound, that was for sure. But it was probably between a 3/4 and a 1 pound burger. And what he's doing is he's buying all of his meat from Dakota Mart, the local grocery store here, and he's buying everything fresh and they're cooking it there. So it's pretty cool. And it's what's unique about this is the guys that are cooking this food is the contractors that work for Michael that do this. So these guys are in coveralls and all this, and they're cooking the food. You'll see him in the video that we put up on Tuesday.
And the main guy, where's he from?
He's actually from our town where we were from back in Illinois.
Where we were born and raised.
He's a little younger than us. And he was shocked that we were, and he told Michael when he was there, he said, "Oh, these guys are from my hometown. They went where I was born at. They lived there." And he's like, "Well, that's pretty cool." So got just another connection there, which you always find that when you come to motorcycle rallies, is you always meet some of the most unique people, and sometimes it could be, it's somebody maybe they worked at the same place you worked at, or they were in the town you were at, or whatever. But it's kind of neat to make that.
What they always say, we live in a very small world. Doug Kramer says only 95 in Nebraska today. Does anyone drive to Glacier Park after the Sturgis rally?
Right now, almost everybody going north into Alaska and Canada and all that are doing that this last week or two. Almost a lot of friends that we have gone north. They've gone up to Alaska, or they've gone to the Arctic Circle. They've gone
Ocean.
Yeah, Arctic Ocean. They're going up there to that. I don't know why that was such a peak time. One sexy biker chick, Anessa, she just went up there. Her husband's on her way back. He's riding a bike. She flew back because she had to order stuff for the store. But all the pictures she sent, she wasn't really in heavy gear. So it didn't look like it was that super cold.
So Ryder X is on. I said hi to him, but I don't know if he heard me. Skippy says, please hit the subscribe button. Doug said he's freezing. He's only got 3 days of rain, and he needs to cool down today. There you go. David, Mike, you guys know the day of the ham jam. Not sure what you call it. It's on that Wednesday of the rally.
So typically, did we go last year?
Yes, we went. Remember, we went to the inductee thing. We met up there, and then we all rode out. Okay. It was kind of a hectic.
Because we're thinking maybe doing it again this year. But let's just see how it's all going to work out. We're probably going to do the inductee thing again this year. We should be able to get in there, cover that again, and probably same thing. Probably leave about noon and go out there. So people, it's the same thing. If people want to ride with us again, we could do the same kind of ride that we did
last year.
Where we met you all at Deadwood at the lodge, It's like when you first come into town, when you go up that big hill, you see the sign on the right, hit that first light, you make a right and go out. Not the other lodge, it's at the other end of town. So it's, if you're coming from Sturgis, once you get to the top of the hill where the first light's at, you make a right and just go up and it's on the left-hand side. It's like a quarter of a mile down the road and big giant parking lot. And we met everybody there. And then we went from there and went out and went through Aladdin, checked that out, stopped at the Stone House, check that out. They're going to have some more food out there. They're actually, I think they're open, might be now.
Yeah.
They were opening a lot earlier this year, going on out there. And then from there, go to Hewlett. And then we go out to Devil's Tower, and we don't go in the park, but you go to that. There's a giant, I don't know if you want to call it a convenience store, a gift store. I don't know what you all call that big giant place. But right behind it, they got a big giant area. You can stand by the fence. You can take a great picture of Devil's Tower. It's a great opportunity. Going in the Devil's Tower, we're not going in this year. There's nothing in there to see. It's like somebody told us the other day, what's on the other side? Same thing that's on this side.
Yeah, it looks the same thing. But if you really want to go into Devil's Tower, or you really want to go to the Badlands, August 4th,
Monday.
whichever day that is, Monday, you can get into the parks for free. National Park, free day.
Yep.
Free National Park
So that's
day.
only for the Badlands
And
Devil's Tower. Because if you go to, some people, well, Mount Rushmore is a national monument. Yes, it is. They don't charge you at all to get into Mount Rushmore. It costs you to park. $10 to park.
that's where they get you.
Yeah.
So Tony Huffman's on. How you doing? Hope you're doing okay. Daryl S is on. By Bob and Tam. Taco Truck was good at Full Throttle Saloon.
Yeah, it's not going to be there this year.
Probably not.
Got damage inside.
Andrew's on.
Just
Hey,
found that
Andrew,
out
did
today.
you see the on Fish and Fry we did? Did you see that video, Andrew? I think that's where he stays. Says hello from Wisconsin. See you guys in a few short weeks. Beth's on. Hey, Beth. We're still in town here. She's been busy as a beaver. That's for sure. Karen's on. Did you see? Inessa went. Yes, I did. She went up to the Arctic Ocean. Got to swim in it. Did you see her? She was out there in the ocean.
I think she
swimming.
went about knee deep.
She was one where it was just.
I didn't see that. I just seen Kyle was only, maybe he was only foot deep.
Kyle didn't even get up to his ankles, I don't think. He got his toes wet. Neil said, you're correct, Bob. I'm not for the people to spend the free night. Didn't hear from anyone, so I left and came down. There you go. Scott 101 Street, I guess, staying at the lodge this year. Is that where you're staying? That's pretty cool. You won't have far to come to meet us then. Ryder X says, do you mind if I give a plug for my new business venture? Sure, why not? Go ahead.
What is it?
Devil's Tower. I will only walk halfway around. I'm heading back. Yep. And if you just want to go and take a picture of it and say, because I mean, you're really close when you get right there to that general store. I mean, you'll probably draw.
They've got ice cream there. They got some other stuff going on. They've got
some alien stuff there. They got all kinds of buffalo stuff, Indian stuff.
A lot of tour stuff. It's got snacks and all that kind of stuff there. They had like a little food truck outside too. They usually have during the rally. It's just a really cool place. Like I said, we did go in there one year. They got a little teeny weeny museum when you get into the park. But the big thing is to go hike around it. It's like I always say, came to a motorcycle rally. I didn't come to do a hike around a mountain.
He didn't hike anywhere. Well, he did. Did you see him go up? He went to try to find the needle on Needles Highway.
Then find out it's right there on the ground. He didn't have to go climb it at all. That's some good pictures for you.
He's still sore. All his legs.
You're lucky I didn't die.
He was like, where'd Billy go? Climbing up those rocks because they're straight up and down. I don't know. He said going up was fine. Coming down was the hard part.
The only thing I can say is I had my Harley boots on and I never slipped once. They were, I've climbed things like that before with tennis shoes and stuff and have had a little bit of issue. But with the Harley boots, and they're about a year old. I think I got them. Maybe they're 2 years old now. But I mean, they grabbed those rocks and I never slid once. Because coming down was a little tougher because I ended up, I should have came down like going down the ladder. I ended up going down backwards like and holding on. And because I figured if I slipped, I'd rather slide down on my butt than slide down on my face. So that was kind of how I did it. I ended up making it down.
And you got one boo-boo.
Yeah, I got down. Blood was running down my arm. I had no idea.
But he can walk out in the garage and that happens.
Price of being old, I guess. I don't know what it is. So what do you got going on?
So Scott says 101st Airborne. That's what he's got on there for. I served with the 502nd Widowmakers. Wow, that's pretty cool. So Ryder X says, we just opened a new message studio in Quinton, Virginia. Anyone passing through who might need a quick fix before continuing his or her ride, check out. And there's the link.
What is it?
Body massage. I guess it's for
Oh, it's for her doing.
Angie's.
Oh, okay. So she's doing her massages. Okay.
A new massage. I said message. Sorry.
Yeah,
I
massage.
have my glasses on. I still can't see.
Yeah,
We just opened a new
she's
massage
I guess she
studio.
is. Would she be considered a masseuse?
Masseuse.
Is that what those
she
are?
is. A professional masseuse.
So she had a place before, back before the pandemic, and when the pandemic came, it
Right
kind of
when
screwed
it
it all
started.
up. So she's back into it,
Unfortunately, yeah.
and so yeah, check her out. And yep, there's mine too.
There you go. Got another commercial. Did y'all get another commercial? Massage therapist. Yep. There you go.
And so yeah, so check that out if you're out that area, and you can
There you
meet.
go. It's
Can't
in
make-
Quinton, Virginia. It says Quinton, Virginia.
And
So anybody passing through that needs a good massage? Are you guys coming out to Sturgis this year?
did he have a,
There, you want to? I guess we can tell them. It's going to be on the video coming up.
what?
Kathmandu.
Oh, yeah, I guess you can talk about it.
So if any of you think at the last minute, like, I wanted to come, but where am I? The heck am I going to stay now? And if you want to come out with some of your buddies, at Kathmandu, they have a big house there. It sleeps 10 people. The people just cancel. So if you think, hey, I wanted to come out, but I didn't think I'd find a place to stay, me and my buddy.
Talk so long.
So anyway, you can come out there. You can sleep. He says it sleeps 10 comfortably. But if you want to put 20 people in there and have some sleep on the floor, he said he's fine with
And this is
that.
a nice house, very nice house. If you
Got a
call,
garage.
if you
Put your
call
bikes in.
them, just Google
Kathmandu.
Kathmandu campground in Sturgis, and
Don't.
it's. I would say it's probably 2,000 square feet, maybe. It's a big house.
It
Got
is
double,
a big house.
got
It's
double
2
car
stories.
garage. Yeah, 2 stories, double car garage. Got a nice fenced in
And it's got a
backyard.
basement.
You can bring your dog. They have no problem with that. But it's a really nice house. And if you contact them, call them. Like I say, Google Kathmandu in Sturgis and get the phone number. Give them a call. What's her name?
Lynette.
Lynette. Talk to Lynette and tell them Bob and Tam told you about it, because we talked to Brent yesterday. That's her husband. And he was telling us about it. So we got on the video. It's going to come out tomorrow. But we don't have the inside because they had somebody who was renting the house this weekend. So we couldn't get inside. If you actually watch my video, there's a lady sitting on the porch. And
She was eyeing him.
and there's a motorhome in the driveway, which is not included. But I mean, it's a really nice home. It's probably, I don't know, 20 years old, maybe. If it's that old, it's a nice looking home. It's not like so much stuff here in Sturgis. You rent a house, it's very dated, and this looks like a really nice home. Because actually, it used to be the last owner, Mike. He used to stay there. He would sleep in the house all the time when he came up from Texas and ran it. So
Well, I think him and some of his relatives would come, his sisters and his cousins, and they would help him run the campground, and they would all stay there.
and you got the garage. At least half the garage you'll be able to put your bikes and stuff in. If you're bringing your bikes up in trailer, he's got plenty of room there to park. Put the trailer in the driveway if you want, or on the side of the house. Like I say, you got a fenced-in backyard. Probably got a barbecue grill, and everything else is probably all there. It'd be a great deal. I even said on the video that I made for the Monday, I said, heck, it might be good for just a couple who decides they don't want to spend, they don't want to get a cabin, live in a shed, or they want to stay in a camper someplace, or fight in a motel with a dozen other people trying to find a parking spot at night. Here, you got all your own stuff. You got your own driveway, double car driveway. You got, there's no campers around you at all. Probably the closest camper is probably, I don't know, 100, 200 feet away. Closest camper to that house.
Yeah, but sometimes they put tents back there. I mean, they're
Well,
not
behind the
the
fence.
tree.
Behind the fence.
I'm going to put their number in here. That's what I'm looking up right now for 7.
So she's typing in their phone number, so in case somebody doesn't want to look it up, she's going to put it in the comments over here. So you can check that out and see. We can't bring comments up on this because we're using the phone. We haven't figured out StreamYard, how they're doing that yet. I might have to switch to something else. And I don't know. I haven't talked to any YouTubers about this to see what they're using right now. If we use the laptop computer, it works fine. But with the phone and the laptop, then we can't use. We're using the hot.
There it is.
We're using the information. There's the phone number there.
For Kathmandu.
For
If you're
Kathmandu.
interested in that house, like I said, I have no idea what the price is. We didn't ask. But you
I'm
can
assuming
call.
it's probably pretty reasonable. They don't seem to be that they want to charge a fortune. Just like the cabins. We were talking over there about Susie. Susie still, I guess Beth put on their days. He's still got those cabins. I can't believe he had a couple people act like they were interested in them. But I mean, Kathmandu says that's the same price he rents his cabins for. So it was kind of, I thought I thought Susie's was cheaper, or I thought Kathmandu would be more. That's what I was thinking.
I know.
But-
So Billy and Sandy are on Crap on a Cracker. This is Crap on a Cracker.
There you go.
He just got back from Laconia. He said it was really hot, 90 plus, and a lot of bikes. So that's cool.
Mhm.
And Sandy said she couldn't go. She had to work. Poor Sandy, because they'll make that money, right? Dustin Chester's on. He says, hi, Bob and Tim. Neil said, did you get the message I sent earlier about the place that opened up? Probably not. I haven't looked.
No, we haven't looked at Messenger or nothing, so I didn't get it.
So there's a number for Kathmandu. If you guys, I can't put it up on the screen, but you should be able to see it in the comments. Chris Polly's on. He said, do you think you guys can show us how to check into the Buffalo Chip without a camper like tent camping?
Yes. If you actually go back to last year's video, you'll see that. When are you coming in? Are you coming in pre-rally? Are you coming in on the Friday of the rally? Those are the things you have to know.
The trick is if you're on your bike,
Go around the traffic.
yes, you don't have to sit in the line with the campers. You go into where the
But the best way to do is if you're coming into the Buffalo Chip, as soon as you turn on, what are we on, the 79? Is that the road? Is the main highway? So if you're coming,
no, the 34.
so you're coming from Sturgis, you're coming up to the Buffalo Chip. You'll make a right-hand turn to get into the Buffalo Chip down the main road there, which is Fort Meade Way. As soon as you get to the very next road that's a left, you make a left there. That's not airport. It's
Avion, something like that.
yeah. But you'll make a left-hand turn there. There's only one road there. Make
When
a left.
you see the Big Buffalo, you turn right before the Big Buffalo.
Turn left, go down that street, and as soon as you see a road to the right, you turn on that, and that will take you in. You'll pass some gas pumps. There'll be dump stations for the trailers, and then you'll see there'll be one office trailer there. You skip that. That's the office trailer. You don't do nothing there. The next one is the ticket window. They'll tell you there'll be a bunch of people there. They'll tell you can park your bike right here. You park your bike right there, or and then you go up to the window and you show your ID, you show your credit card that you charged it on, and then they'll give you your wristbands, and you'll be ready
on your way.
And then you go find you a camping site. And if you don't know where, you can go back to our videos from last year. We have a lot of them on the Buffalo Chip to show you some of the great tent camping. You could not put a tent where there's an RV spot at, unless you're with somebody that's got an RV spot. But there's a whole lot of, the earlier you get there, the better it is. There is shade.
There are some trees.
Yes, there's a lot of shade, but you got to get there really early. I'm talking pre-rally days. You almost got to get there Tuesday, Wednesday of the pre-rally to get in there and get those good spots. You can actually check in right now at the Buffalo Chip. They charge you, but when people always think they can only, it's like that Friday night of the first. People are going to be lining up that morning to get in the chip on the first. You're better off paying for the night before and pulling in Thursday, and there'll be no line there. But people sit out there for 45 minutes, an hour, lines all the way out to the highway with trailers trying to get in.
Hours.
Yeah. We've been out there. We'll probably be out there on opening day, filming that and showing some live shots of that.
So Graphics said, do cabins have air conditioners? I would say
90% of them
do, but
you should
if
ask.
Yes, if you've rented a cabin somewhere,
Where are you renting it from?
call and make sure. I did that one year. So this is the first year we came out. I kept saying, make sure it's got air. And he did. He called and called. I made him call probably at least 3 times. Got out here and it snowed. I should have asked if it had a heater.
Snow flurries. 35 that night and snow flurries. That's why I tell people the weather here could be anything. About the only thing we're not going to, you could get a flood. Depending on where some of the tents got flooded last year when we had all that rain. They had
There's a little campground down here called Creekside. And a lot of people, because it's all tree shaded area, and they like to park right next to the creek. Those tents kind of got washed away.
They went down. They turned into boats.
Yeah. Mark says he heard Laconia had a great crowd. Adam said he broke sales records for Laconia.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Crap on a Cracker, Bill, he went, and he said that it was a great crowd. He said you guys should came, but I heard it was hot too. So
the problem we've got with a lot of people that's about Laconia and stuff, we have no connections with Laconia anymore. Well, we never did. The dealership there is actually the same one that owns Orlando, and we've never got to meet the owners. They also own the Poconos, and I think somebody said they bought another new dealership. We have never met them, so we don't know anybody there that would give us a bike to ride, or we don't have any place to stay. the problem is once again, it would be for us to fly up there. It would probably cost us at least $1,000 round trip. A place to stay is probably going to cost us, $1,100 to $1,500 for that time. For a rally like that, I'd be lucky to make $600 or $700 probably off of it. So we'd be in the hole. And right now, we've done all right with the rallies this year with the sponsors we have. We are picking up Biketoberfest this year. They came through and decided they wanted to sponsor us. Actually, we don't even have to go. They just want us to put videos up to the rally. But they're giving us enough money to be able to pay for the hotel and everything to get there and the airline. So, which works out really, the hotel.
The airline and the car rental. Because we're flying into Orlando. It's a lot cheaper.
So we figured a lot of times, that's what we always talk about people. Where you always got to, if you always want to know something, sometimes things are cheaper if you do it a different way. It's like, for instance, you're in Orlando. It's cheaper for us to fly into Orlando than it is to fly into Daytona from Las Vegas. And it ends up being that for the difference in price, I only have to pay about $100 more to get a car for the whole time. So we are getting a motorcycle.
Yeah, take another hot water, not quite as full.
Like half or just
3/4.
Yeah, 3/4.
Okay.
Thank you.
And so it ends up being that the reason we want a car is because sometimes it rains. Now we're getting a motorcycle from Midwest Motorcycles, which is going to be here, Heavy Ed. That if you're looking for a rental for motorcycles in Daytona or in Sturgis, he's here to rent a bike and great prices. It's $300 a day, and that includes everything: your insurance, your taxes, all you got to do is put gas in the bike. Comes full, you got to bring it back full. And that's the only expenses you have. It needs to be towed. He'll take care of that, all that. Everything is all included. Where some of these other rental places charge you for every little thing you have. And next thing you know, you're paying $3,000 for a bike for 5 days. So here, and if you go over 5 days, he even gives you a better break. Yeah, so he's taking care of there. Teddy Morris is actually going to cover us during the rally. So from Wednesday night to Saturday night, he's covering that. We're going to be staying right there on the property. So he's supporting us for that. That's why you see his name at the end of it now. We're thinking about coming in a few days earlier, and we're still negotiating with somebody to get a place to stay for that. And if that happens, we'll probably get there maybe Thursday or Friday, the weekend before. So we'll be there extra early to kind of cover, for those. Yeah. So we'll see how that all works out.
Chris Polly said he's coming in the Friday before the rally. So you should definitely be able to get a shady spot for your tent.
Yeah. So you'd be coming in like on the 26th or 27th of July, not August 1st.
Yeah, because he says he'll be coming in
because the rally starts.
And then he put before rally. Well, he put rally, but I'm sure he meant rally.
So the rally actually starts on August 1st, which that'll be the most crowded day at the Buffalo Chip. Will be that morning, which is the 1st, which is the Friday. Now, if you're coming the Friday before, you just got to find a seat.
So you'd be coming in July 25th.
So are you coming the 25th, July 25th, or are you coming in August 1st?
August 1st is going to be a line out the wazoo.
Yes.
The 25th, you'll be set and ready to go.
Just decided to have a graduation party somewhere else.
Oh, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe they had it and didn't take their stuff. I don't know.
They got a bigger table.
Oh.
They want to put everybody at one table, I guess.
Oh, I guess.
It's okay with us, because we would have been back there in the corner.
Yeah.
She had a fireplace behind him, but the girl couldn't remember how to turn it on.
So it's just the light on. So the fireplace is on. Because I was cold. Anyway, Crab on a Cracker said, didn't look like it this year, but New England usually rains. I rode in rain for about 4 hours this morning. Yeah.
Well, Adam did one video and said it did rain one day. I think the first or second day he said he had rain. So they did get rain, because they used to always call that rain-iconia or something.
Rainconia.
And because it didn't really rain that much when we were there either.
But that was the year we went to all the rallies. And it was like, I think there was the Wednesday in Myrtle Beach. It rained that middle of the day. It rained all day. But other than that, Daytona didn't rain, and none of the other rallies rained. So Chris said, we are coming out the week before, staying in Rapid City, and that Friday we'll be going over to the Buffalo Chip truck and trailer that's hauling the bikes and the mini bikes. We're planning on tent camping.
You need to get there on Thursday, because you would have to stay in with the trailer, with everything in it. You have to stay in line. The only people that can cut up front is only if you're riding your motorcycle in. Now, yeah, that's your only option. Yeah, I would pay.
Our advice to you is to come in the Thursday
Yes.
before. Come in on
And
July
you can
31st.
come in Thursday and you can pay Thursday. You don't have to pay. I think it's, I don't know, $60, $50, something like that. We'll find out exactly what it is. We're going to the chip on Tuesday. And we'll put that on the list and we'll talk about that for people that, because they're open. You can go right, I was like, you can go right now if you want to pay from now on, because we're going to have Adventure Bike Week's going to be coming up here in July. So a lot of things are going on. So the campground, they haven't got all the grass cut yet. They'll start cutting grass here in the next week or so. Probably 1st of July, they'll get out there and start. Right now, they're checking all the electric. They've been out there checking. They mowed around all the electric posts and all the plug-ins and everything. And
So they're probably going to be just checking all them. So Hoghead Bill said, have you guys ever done a video of the various RV sites around the chip? The Water Tower, Penske, South 40, yes.
Not well. We've shown you where they're at, and but I mean, we didn't go to each one and say this is this section, this is this section, this is this section.
There's Deep Lake, and there's Blue Sky, and there's a lot of places.
Now we have driven through it all and show people where they're at. So yes, we've done a lot of videos on the Buffalo Chip on their property, probably more on them than any other route, any other location,
Right?
Because they're kind of more. We've done Glencoe, we've kind of shown people where one area is versus the other area. There's really only two main areas there. We kind of showed that. Kathmandu, we've kind of gone around. It's kind of the same thing. They got most of their RV is here. Tent camping's way out there, or it's the other way if you get one with a pavilion and stuff on there. So it's
Well, somebody else had asked us, this was beginning of the year, they were trying to figure out where they wanted to go at Kathmandu, and they said, you need to go and show, and the only way we could do this is to stop at every single site and say, this is site 7B. This is, thank you very much. This is site,
and we just couldn't.
57.
That video would be
Yes.
be like 5 hours long.
and we couldn't do that. And they've got the little map, but he was saying that you couldn't tell if there was shade there or not. We're like, at Kathmandu, there's not a lot of shade.
Most 90%, if you've got full hookups or electric, you're pretty much not going to have shade at most of the campgrounds out here. Now, there's exceptions to the rule. You can go out to, what's the one that's a new owner just bought? Rush No More.
Yeah, Rush No More.
There's new owners there. I think they've got some shade there. Lampshear's got some shade on their property. But a lot of the other ones have shade, but you have to go out in their back 40. Where it's boondocking area. You can go to Glencoe. They got boondocking area.
Utilities.
Yes, you're not going to have utilities there. So yes, you can get shade for RV, but now there's the Christmas campground. There's probably some there in Spearfish you can get that's got shade. They've got some shaded area, but it might be that your RV's only shaded in the morning, or it's only you're not really backing your trailer into the woods.
Well, the other one is maybe Shade Valley. They probably have some.
They don't have as much. Somebody was trying to say the other day they had a lot of shade. They don't have a lot of shade. They have
They
some.
probably have more than most, I would say.
I would.
There's a lot of trees out there.
Actually, if you want to find a really shady place, go stay at one of the campgrounds that is owned by the state. It's like when we were down here, when we were riding down there, going down to Custer State Park, I thought that maybe I'd like to do a day or two before we leave and maybe stay down there by Custer and stay in one of them little campgrounds and stay down there and just kind of play around and look around Custer and stuff, State Park. And I figured maybe after the rally, it wouldn't be so busy. Maybe the price will go down and maybe we'll be able to find a spot. But I mean, most of them were like, we seen some more the other day. We were on the 16A or whatever it was. And you could see all the trailers. They could back right into the woods, and they had electric. And so they probably didn't have sewer, but they probably had electric and water. But I mean, but you're not going to be close to anything. You're getting away from what's going on. But most of the campgrounds in Sturgis here, there's a little bit of shade over at Days Inn, but not a lot. Like we had a tree next to us.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole trailer wasn't covered in shade all day.
It was either morning or night. It just depends on what side of the tree you're on.
And so it's the same thing with tent camping. I always tell people you want to make sure that you're getting shade from the east. Because why do you want that? It's because you want to be able to sleep. Who cares what the hell to say? Your tent's if it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, your tent's in the sun. Who cares?
Yeah, because you're probably not going to be there.
And by the time you go to sleep, as long as you go to bed after 9 o'clock, after the sun went down, your tent's going to be plenty cool. But you don't want to get up, which I've heard some of the poor girls that are waitresses and out here at the bars that at 5 a.m. they're up because their tent's 120 degrees inside. So that's what you want. You want shade. So you want the sun to be on the east you want shade come. The tree wants to be the east to you. So the tree's here, sun shining on the tree on the east, and I got shade in my
Hey,
tent.
Tony.
That could be fun.
Yeah. Sean's on. Rick wants to know what happened at the council meeting. It was a nightmare.
The 4 people on the council want to get rid of the motorcycle rally. 3 of them want to do something with the rally. So there you go. We've reached out to the mayor. Even told him on the council meeting, you can actually watch where I tell him that we've been trying to get a hold of you. He says, I will get a hold of you immediately. What's today? Sunday? When did he promise me that?
Last Monday. So it's been almost a week.
And we've heard nothing.
And then we called the
Administrator.
yes.
And all he would do is talk on the phone. But really, he didn't want to meet in person.
Well, he said the only thing that they're not going to do any of the extra contests and all the things that they do. They're going to have opening ceremonies. They're going to have military day.
The chief's ride and the mayor's ride.
Yeah, and I think that's all. And he said what the city is wanting to do is to get back taking care of city business and making sure that the public is safe and that the streets are clean. That's what he said. The city administrator.
Oh, that's the administrator. Oh, yeah. I thought you meant that's what they said in the thing. So I don't know. Right now, there is nobody running the Sturgis motorcycle rally in Sturgis. So I don't know what's going on. We've tried to reach out to help them. I don't know what to say. I'm about the point to just say the hell with them. I love covering what's going on. We know most of the business people there, and I love Sturgis. I love the people in Sturgis. I just talked to a whole bunch of locals today at the Full Throttle Saloon today. And I said, you need people. Here it is. The population is 7,000. There's probably only about 2,500 people that actually live here year round, because a lot of people buy houses here and they come back just for the rally, or they come back just for summer, or whatever it might be. And I said, you guys, so out of that, around 300 people is all that voted in this last election. That's pretty sad. For a town of 2,500, 3,000 voted. Plus, these other 3,000 or 4,000 people that aren't here, they have a right to vote. So they should get involved too. Because I'm not saying, I'm not going to go. You can go back and Monday, it's on you can listen to my little speech. And they came up with stupid answers. They first said that the police, so what they were trying to do is close in front of the in front of One Eye Jacks and Loud American, close that block off for pre-rally, which is just be 4 more days, Monday through Thursday, because they're already closing on Friday, the whole street. And so they had all these excuses, the vendors, So the first one was about the police chief. They said, well, it's going to cost us all this overtime. Well, the chief came out and said, because the other option was that they were talking about is maybe putting signs up just for that block that would say each parking spot would be motorcycle parking only. So now I got to print signs up. So let's say maybe we'll do that in a couple of years when we get some signs made up. Well, then the chief says, then I got to pay officers to stand there and write tickets and call tow trucks when cars park there. So what he ended up saying would probably be better just to close the block off. So then they said, well, the guy that's in charge of the city's the trash and the lights, public work guy, Rick. They said so he came up there and talked. And he said, yeah, we can put signs and stuff. He said, but honestly, to be honest with us, the easiest thing would be for us just to close that block off. That way at night, we just move the block.
Put the barricades up, and then we can just come in and clean. He says if we
just like we do normally
have to move them signs every single night to clean the streets, he's like, it'd
be a pain. And it would cost him more money. So then the fine mayor started arguing that he needed to he'd have to move the handicap spots because, people's going to need to use those handicap spots. And there's 2 or 3 there.
And he says,
so that's finally he went on and on and on. I'm standing there, I'm waiting. I want to talk. Finally, he shuts his mouth and I go up there. He calls me back up. And I said, first of all, you need to realize that we have some military people here that ride motorcycles that have 1 leg. They need a handicap spot. We also have people that have trikes that need handicap spots. If you move those handicap spots, you're going to get in trouble. So then he quieted down about that. So then they voted 4 to say no, 3 to say yes. One guy got there before they even started talking about it. He said right off the bat, I'm going to vote no because you're trying to extend the rally to more time, and I'm not going to go. And I'm like, well, I don't know why he even had to state his opinion, because he probably wanted to make sure his other buddies knew that he was voting this way, so they all voted together with him. So once again, they really don't care about the rally.
Okay, we got a few people to say hi to. Hendra's on. Hey, Hendra. Graphics. Oh, he deleted his message. I forgot what he said. I was going to
Well, maybe
answer
he
it.
changed it. Maybe
No,
he changed what he wanted to say. You deleted it or he deleted it?
It said message retracted.
Well, maybe he wants to. He'll retype it.
I don't know.
Who
I was
wrote all
going to
that?
answer it. I'm going to get
Oh.
to it. They're all saying hello to each other. Big
Oh.
Ben's on. How you doing, Big Ben? Rabbit's on. How you doing?
What day is Big Ben getting into town?
Yeah.
You didn't-
Minnesota headed to Ohio next. You're in Sturgis. Stop over at the bare knuckle fighting event and ask anyone, and you can meet me. All right. I did that last year, and they said they had no idea who you were. I haven't showed them your picture, and then but you didn't come last year, so that's why.
No, we need to know when you're coming in town. Because if you get here Friday night, we can meet you or something. We could bring the truck and
Yeah, we
go
can.
out to eat or something. Or
Yeah, because you'll have the big truck.
Yeah.
I mean, are you staying there at the? I guess
he's probably safe for the
Yeah,
truck.
he's probably got a sleeper in his truck. Anyway, I forgot. I was going to answer whatever.
Well, maybe he'll write back, or maybe I already answered it.
I don't know. I saw it.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does, because I was going to answer it.
Well, maybe he didn't want. Maybe he already figured it out, or maybe somebody else answered it for him.
I didn't see that.
No, don't know. Do you want to ask a question again?
For the fight soon. There you go. He said
Never.
he's going to.
No question is ever too stupid to answer or to ask.
Ben said, "Will do." He said he'll be here for about 4 days. Bob from Aaron's Sturgis. A lot of people say that.
Yeah, a lot of people too. Lady we just talked to today. I even offered to help them at no real cost to them other than flying us out here, because we're probably the Sturgis motel would probably put us up for free. She's told us before she'd help us out if we did stay a night or two here. So probably I said I'd be happy to just come out and give them advice. But I think at this point they don't want advice. I think they want to do things their own way. And the whole idea, but they don't realize, which is when I ended up telling them that the rallies, all the attendance this year at rallies have been down. Now, like I say, we weren't in Laconia, so I don't know what it was. But I know with Adam, Amsoil Adam, that he pretty much said that most of the people that were spending money with him were his subscribers. So that's kind of unique, because I don't think he's ever had that big of an impact of subscribers. So there might be a lot of people that watch his channel that came out there to meet him and have work done by Adam, which would make good sense. But it's kind of like the 100th. The 100th, the 99th, which we were there in Laconia, was a hell of a lot more people than the 100th was, because we watched it on the video. So we haven't talked to other vendors yet to see how they did. Because if Adam did most of his business from his subscribers, then other vendors that don't have subscribers, because they don't have a YouTube channel, did they have that same amount of work too? So I haven't got to talk to anybody yet. So we probably won't talk to most of them until they get here to Sturgis to find out how they all did.
Happy Life says, "Hey y'all, I live in Meade County, and the BS in our country is truly horrific in this area for the last 41 years. And it's even worse. I think
One more tea. Some more sugar.
Yeah,
Okay.
and sugar, please." So Neil answered graphics question. Okay, yeah, because I thought of that. Governor Roden lives in Sturgis, South Dakota. That's what we heard. Somebody said he must live around the outskirts of Sturgis. He must not live in the city limits. But we had heard that too, that he lives here. And there's another guy that's running for governor, but they said, I guess Governor Roden right now is older. I don't know how old he is. He doesn't look that old to me, but somebody said that they didn't know if he would actually run for governor. He was lieutenant governor when Kristi Noem left. Then he took over as governor. So I don't know if he's going to run for governor. That's why there's a few other people running. There's another guy that's running, something Todd, I think is his name. And they say he is a huge Republican. So Mark says, have to come the week before the rally this year. Hope it works out good. I think you won't be disappointed, Mark. As long as the weather is nice. And I've been praying for nice weather. Michael Child says, I feel for the folks of Sturgis. The rally is so big. Maybe they could farm out some of that. Thank you very much. Okay, thank you. Maybe they could farm out rally management as a group of professionals who are also bikers. That's what we suggested, that you need to get somebody in here that knows about the rallies. And a lot of people that do motorcycle rallies, just like Daytona. They do Daytona and Myrtle Beach does Myrtle Beach, but they all see their own little thing. A lot of the other rallies don't go to other rallies, so they don't see other things. So we go to all of them, and we kind of see, oh, that really works well there. This other rally should incorporate that, or they really don't need to do that anymore because that doesn't work. So you need somebody that knows the motorcycle industry, knows the motorcycle rallies, and that's what they should do. And that's what Bob said. You don't even have to hire anybody full time. Just hit my thing. Just hit the X.
Oh, no, what did you do?
That's my prayer that comes up at night. It's 5:00, and it just comes up and tells me it's
I don't even
time.
know what happened.
Well, that's my phone.
So
we're using.
here's my breaking news. How many people we got on here? Let me look and see.
80 something.
95. Here's the breaking news on Sturgis. Hold on to your seats. This is probably, I don't know if this is the biggest thing that's ever happened to me here. Here's what's going on. We have got the inside scoop on the Full Throttle Saloon. How did I get this? We sat down. Well, we actually didn't sit down. We stood up and talked to Michael Ballard from Full Throttle Saloon. We are the first and probably the only YouTube channel that's going to be having a conversation with Michael Ballard. Why? Because he likes us finally. After all this time of doing
I
this.
think he's always like this. Like I said, he's always talked to us. He just would never go on camera.
Yeah, because he always wanted to do his TV show and all that kind of stuff. And he just never did. So his staff, I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but on any of the things, but his staff has been going back and forth saying that Michael wanted to talk to us. And last year it happened. Last year at the end of the rally, it was like this last Saturday or something, we were out at the Full Throttle. And he stopped us and he said, hey, man, I've been watching you guys. You guys do a really good job. And he talked to us for like an hour. And I just kind of, okay, thanks, Michael. And said, have a good time. And we left. And as we were walking away, I was like, I wonder if he would have done an interview. I said, he's never spent that much time. You know, he's kind of, because he normally always talks to us like he would meet you. If he meets you, he'll talk to you a few minutes. You want to take a picture, and he's on his way. He's gone. He disappears really quick. He's good at that. And
it is. It's like, oh, there's Michael. And then it's like, where'd he go?
So off and on, we've been trying to go out there and meet him. They said to email him. He wouldn't respond to us. He wouldn't nobody would give us his phone number. But which we found out this, and we talked about this the other day, that we found out at the Full Throttle Saloon. I would say every employee that works there right now watches our channel. And actually, his right-hand man that actually has been with him for over 20 years we've been talking to him all day. These last 2 weekends, we've been talking to him a lot. So today we got Michael came up and I think he didn't realize who I was, because I thought I seen him this week, and same thing. He was kind of a distance away from me. He was out in the construction area where they're building all the stuff at. And I kind of looked at him, and he probably seen the camera in my hand. I turned around. Next thing you know, he was gone. And then I seen him over here. Then I kind of walked over there, and he was inside the bar. And then there's another little room behind that cooler, and he went back there. Because I seen a couple other people go back there. Well, I'm not going to go.
On the phone too.
Yeah, I don't know if he's really on the phone, if he's just making it like he's pretending to be on the phone, not to be bothered. Then I never seen him again, so we gave up on that. So then we talked to a few more of the workers, and they're like, "We'll call you when he's here. We'll call you when he's here." Once again, nobody ever called us. They're probably busy, not thinking about it. So today we went back out there, and this one gentleman, this right-hand man, said he would get with us and take us around and do a tour and all this stuff. So we got there, and she goes, "There's Michael. He's out there." And thanks. I waited, and he kind of disappeared a couple times, and he came back. And so he was kind of walking this way, and he was talking to somebody else. So I kind of strolled up, and he got done talking to that guy. So, oh, hey, I'm Bob with Bob and Tam's Excellent Adventures. Oh, hey, it's been a year since I've seen you guys. Well, I think when I seen that, I don't think he remembered who I was, because he probably hasn't watched any of our videos since last year. And so he's like, yeah. So then Tam came up. And so Tam came up, and we started talking to him and stuff, and said, hey, we'd like to do some stuff with you. And we were telling him all this stuff. He goes, "Oh, you want to do the interview now?" And we're like, "Sure." So here we go.
Yeah, the camera's in our hand.
And I didn't get to put a mic on him or nothing. We used her camera and my camera both. We had them both there. And we did really good job of asking him some questions. So we're going to give you all the inside of everything. Every question that everybody's asking on Facebook, YouTube, about what's going on with the Full Throttle Saloon, you're going to get that answered on Tuesday this week.
By Michael Ballard himself.
That's right. And it's so exciting that we now have a relationship with the Full Throttle Saloon. Before, we've always had access. We've got enough people there, the security, everybody knows us. And so we've always had access, but we just never had the blessings of Michael. And so there was a couple other things he talks about on his channel. And I said, is there any way we can get access? Do I need to contact somebody? He's like, no, you guys are in. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of everything for you guys. And we're like, okay, that's great. I said, so it's just really cool that this is happening. Just for the fact that we just love it. Just like Richard Rollins at the Gas Monkey Garage, to be able to have the people that own the business give us that access. We've always had Jesse's always been really good. He's always been nice to give us a few minutes of his time. And that's great. And some people have been asking us to give a tour of the Full Throttle Saloon, or not Full Throttle Saloon, but Pappy Hoyle. They haven't cut the grass or anything yet, so I don't want to show anything yet.
Barricades all up too.
We can sneak through. I already looked and seen I can get through. But I want to wait. You're not getting here tomorrow anyway, so you don't need to see it yet. We will get over there, and they got less than 20 spots left. They're full hookups. So if you're wanting to stay at Pappy Hoyle, they're going to be sold out here probably in the next week or so. So if you want to be at Pappy Hoyle for what's going on, because if you have Pappy Hoyle, you got the bracelet, you get to see all the concerts for free. I told Michael, if you can get everything built by the time that happens, good luck. You'll be a great man. And if anybody can do it, this guy can do it. He always pulls stuff out of at the last minute. 41 days, we told him. Well, he was glad when we talked to him. Somebody else told me he only had 29 days. And
I said, no, I said,
so
I think it's 41. And he's like, oh, well, that makes me feel better. So anyway,
so that's our breaking news.
Yep. Happy Life said most definitely would reach out to Larry Roden. He's a sweetheart as the acting governor. Neil says Bob should run. He's way smarter. Crap on a Cracker said the only problem where Amsoil Adam is at is the vendor park is very small, not a lot going on there, just the racing track and Harley demo right. That was it.
Which is what I always say, about that. That's what's wrong with Laconia. Because down there on Weir Beach, it's just freaking t-shirt places. You got one decent bar, and that's it. And then you got everybody else scattered up on that hill. I think that's where Rick Rack came this year. I think they were up on the hill. Maybe they might be by Speeds, or they were on the other side. I don't know. We did, like I said, for us, Laconia just wasn't enough there. And then the traffic was so freaking bad on the weekends, Friday and Saturday there. The traffic was just so bad with the cars trying to putt around and stuff. The riding's very beautiful. It's very scenic. But, I mean, those little towns could care less if we're there or not. It's hard to find gas stations that are open. And
Yeah, if the restaurant or the gas station's only open on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they're not going to open the whole week for the rally. They're open on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Most of them are open.
On Wednesdays, then
most things are open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Sunday is what most of the stuff out there in those hills are. But I mean, it's pretty cool. It is a great. I'm glad we went to Laconia. I said, which like I tell people all the time, I get it all the time, right around Laconia time. Aren't you guys going to come out? Aren't you going to come out? You find somebody to help sponsor us out there. Give us a place to stay. That makes a big difference there and something that's close. We had the gentleman we used to stay with, one of our subscribers, that when we brought the trailer, it's 50 miles away. Well, not that we waste, but I mean, it's 2 hours, hour there, hour back of the day. And then plus, I don't like to ride at night. There's a bunch of deers on the road. There was a dead deer this morning on the highway when we drove by.
Yep.
So lots of deers. Oh, tell them what you seen yesterday.
Bunnies.
Kathmandu coming in.
Oh, a baby deer. It was like running all over like crazy.
What did he look like? What'd you think it was at first? A dog.
A dog.
It looked about the size. I thought it was a rabbit. It was a mule deer.
Yeah.
And the mama was standing there. And she kept saying, well, look at that little deer. And I'm like, that deer ain't that little. Well, then you could see the thing. It was jumping like a rabbit.
I mean, it was like running like, how dogs get zoomies? That's what this deer was doing. It was just running around in circles and it was jumping. And it was like, I've never seen a deer act like that before.
I said, well, it's a mule deer for one. But I mean, this thing was only about this big.
It was tiny.
And a big old white tail on it. So it looked like a rabbit. But it was funny as soon as it finally got to the mama deer. And
the mama must have said, knock it off.
Started walking and then the baby was right with it. Yeah. She was looking at us, and we kind of slowed down with the truck. And she slowed down to. She was really looking at us. I guess we're afraid that we might do something with the baby or something, but it was still way far away from us.
Oh, it was going. Yeah, it was crazy. Yes, G. Grazzi, he told me first. Well, I was there when it all happened about Michael Ballard and everything. I heard someone
She
say,
interviewed her with her camera. Mine was the backup camera.
happy life. As a resident biker, I would prefer choice mayor candidates, and I would love to help in any way I can. I live on Sturgis Road, highway between I-90. A lot of family members are employed at the throttle. Michael Child says it's because of Tam, of course. She's awesome. Happy life. I retired. I'm a fan of Fierce Modeling Agency. I supply over 700 girls in security for bartenders. There you go. 700 girls, Gigazi says. I'm lucky to have one. You wouldn't want to be in charge of 700 girls. I'm sure that's not an easy chore. I want to see that cute young lady from Minnesota that worked outside the bars because of her age. She'll be old enough for inside and real tips this year. I don't know who that is. She's been around over 35 years. Happy Life has. I'm in Somerset. We recently started our own city lead county sweetheart. There you go. CC's on. Happy Sunday says. Heat wave here in the 51st state. 34 degrees. Oh my gosh. And I thought it was cold here at 60. Neil says, Sam, have you ever heard from Raptor Ranch? Nope. She used to be on all the time. Unless she's changed her handle, I haven't heard from her in a while. Happy Life says, feeling the fresh grass is normal here. Yep. Any predictions on the rally attendance this year? Average is usually around 500,000.
No, it's not 500,000. They make up numbers. Probably last year, our rough estimate, but we're thinking there was about 125,000 people here. I'm probably going to say maybe 150, 200 at the most. We're not going to see, this isn't going to be the 75th. Those numbers are gone. Those numbers are gone forever. You're never going to see that. We're going to see
says 350.
what this year is going to be, which we're finding out from a lot of you, that we have a lot more people. And I monitor a lot of Facebook pages that are about Sturgis and rallies and things like that. I really keep up with a lot of that stuff because when people ask questions, I want to make sure we give them the answers to help them out. There's always people out here that's got wisecracks and everything else that instead of telling people, it's like so same with that. So the crowd's going to be less. So when we look at it, not everything is sold out yet. The difference what rallies used to be here in Sturgis was if you didn't start booking by January or February, you pretty much weren't going to find no place to stay anywhere close. This year, you can still find places. There's still hotels that have availability in Rapid City and stuff. So things are still available. Some of you have booked here towards the end. So things are still there. Most of the little campgrounds, which typically what you have is you have a little loyal base, just like us. We've been coming out here since 2019 every year in a row. Before, we come out every couple years. So here, we've been coming out every year. So just like when we left last year, we talked to Kathmandu and said, we'd like to come back again next year. Well, pretty much everybody that was there said the exact same thing. I want to come back this year. So pretty much all the small campgrounds pretty much kept the same people that were there last year because they wanted to be here for the anniversary year. So that's kind of that. So the people that you have, which there is some people that I've seen a lot of people that have written me and said, we're not doing this year. We did last year. We're skipping a year. We're going to come for the 86.
Come every other year.
And that's okay. And so we're not seeing that. See, the 75th is like if this would ever make it to the 100th, which I don't know if it will or not. Maybe it will. Probably there will be a rally. There'll probably be a rally here at 200. Honestly, probably there'll be people come out here.
They'll be back by then.
Yeah, who knows? But I'm just saying that there probably will be people. So to say the rally will totally disappear, we have Laughlin, Nevada, and the rally disappeared 10 years ago. Well, I guess it wasn't 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years, 7, 8. I guess it was close to 2 years before the pandemic, wasn't it? Because he tried to get it going during the pandemic, 2020. It was gone 2 years before that.
So 2018 was probably the last year.
But people still came out there and rode their bikes. Not very many. A Hollister, they're having one this year over the 4th of July. They had people up. I don't know when the last Hollister one was. It's probably been at least 10 years since Hollister's had a bike week there. And people still were coming out. But last year they had about 4 bikes show up. And that's when the city decided we want the businesses. We need to have, because they're kind of like Sturgis, Hollister is. There's nothing in Hollister that would make you want to go visit Hollister for a weekend. Sturgis is kind of the same way. If it wasn't for motorcycles, you wouldn't come here. This would be a nice town to live in, be a nice town to retire in, might be a nice town to raise your kids in. But for come here as a tourist trap or tourist community, no. I go to Deadwood. I would
have the Sturgis Museum.
that once again, I'm not going to go someplace just to go visit the museum for the week. But I'm just saying that that you wouldn't really. This would be just like another town like Redbud, Illinois. Would I go down to Redbud and live there, or go down there for a vacation? No, there's not much going on there. But they probably got little museum too. Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, everybody's got that. Everybody's got small towns. We used to live in a town called Washington, Missouri. Would I go there? Which we do now because we live there. But would you, if you never heard of Washington, Missouri, would you look at that on the map to say, I want to go there as a vacation? No. Potosi, Missouri. Would you go there from vacation?
Well, I got a lot of relatives.
Would you go there as a vacation destination?
How about go for a family reunion?
No. Go as a vacation.
They shouldn't have had those numbers when they were 5,000. It discourages some from going.
No. What they do that for is, one, so places can raise the rent on the vendors, charge them more money, can charge you for more hotel, charge you. Because if you found out only 125,000 people came to Sturgis last year, like, I'm not paying $2,000 for a camping site. That's crazy for that few of people. That's what it's all about. If you notice this year, because I don't know if it's Daytona did it because of us, but this year there was no numbers given out on Daytona from the city. Now, what happened was the Speedway, now they did an inventory. They did one, which is great. It's an independent company. They're making money off of all those vendors. They said they had about 175,000 people came through their establishment, but that also counts as the races and the flat track that was going on, and lots of people pushing strollers. A lot of people with cars came in. So, yes, I would believe probably for 10 days at the International Speedway, probably had 175,000 people. Main Street in Daytona, no way in hell did they have 175,000 people go down their Main Street. No. And you just got to, I'm happy to talk to anybody and explain this. People at the city always freak out on me. Even the chief tried to say there was at least 300,000 people here last year.
He said he walks it.
And it's like, this year we're going to do it. I'm going to order. Yep. I'm going to get some clickers for both of us. And she's going to go down one side of the street, and I'm going to go down the other street, and we're going to click everybody that we count going down the street. Then we're going to come back and go into each one of the businesses, and we're going to click how many people are in. You guess how many people. I'm going to say on a Saturday, there's probably going to be less than 500 people that we count on Main Street in Sturgis. I'll be happy to bet. I really don't.
He was saying, like at midnight or 1 o'clock, after all the bands are over.
Well, but he said the Knuckle has at least 1,000 people coming out there at night. Well, 1,000 is a sure lot difference than 10,000 people. Okay. Yes, there could be 1,000. That's hard to believe too, that there's 1,000 people in the Knuckle. But is he counting them? No. I always say, have you ever been like us? We've been to the St. Louis Cardinals game in Busch Stadium. Holds at that time back then, it used to hold 50,000. We've been to the Dodgers game. I don't know what they hold. We've been to the Anaheim Angels game. And I'm one of these people that if I don't get out really early, I wait for everybody to leave. So we stand up on that deck and we watch the crowd. And when you see those swarms of people, which is not 50,000 because they're going out different exits, you're only seeing one exit. There's no way they're here. Well, then the other thing I always ask is, this whole state doesn't have 1 million people in it. It has about 800,000 people in the whole state. Okay. That's counting kids. That's counting everybody. So if we had 500,000 people show up, where are they staying at? So Pappy Hoyle has about 1,000 campsites. Glencoe's probably got, I don't know, maybe 500. The Buffalo Chip, they won't really say. I'm still thinking they probably don't have much more than 1,000 actual campsites. I'm not counting tents now. We're just counting RV sites. So when you start looking at all this, some of these campgrounds only have 200 spots. Some of them got 100 spots. Some of them got 50 spots. You start thinking about that. Maybe, let's say they even have 10,000 spots altogether. Okay, if you double that and say there's 2 to every one, that's only giving you 20,000 people. If we even say there's 4 in every trailer, that's 40,000 people. The hotels here in town, we probably don't have 100 rooms. Maybe we'll say there's 200 rooms. I'll go extra mile. Once again, now we're looking at what, 800 people. If we want to put 4 people in a room, there's not 4 people in every room, but we'll just say there is. Now we go to Rapid City and stuff. And let's say we've got another 10,000 rooms, which you don't, because when we look at Las Vegas or we look at down in Daytona, they only have 18,000 rooms. So there's no way. And you look at Las Vegas, because that's why I tried to tell the chief when we were talking about rooms. I think Las Vegas,
75,000.
yeah, 75,000 rooms. Okay, so you can figure there. Well, there I would probably say 2 to most rooms. So you'd say there's about 150 to 200,000 people at the most in Las Vegas at any one time, probably. So are you telling me that there's more people at the Sturgis motorcycle rally or Daytona, any of these rallies, than I'm going to shove in Las Vegas on the SEMA weekend or on 4th of July or on New Year's Eve? You got to think reality. The difference between us and everybody else now is because we stand out here and we look in from the outside now. We're no longer you. We are observers now. I see everything different now. I didn't realize it until we started looking at some old videos that, not from us, but from other people that had shot years that we were here in 2012. And I'm like, I don't remember that. Where was that business at? Where was that at? But we were right there. We didn't see any of that because we were a tourist. We were here to have fun. We were, you're
Weren't
not
paying attention to what was going on.
Yeah. And so now we're looking at everything.
Do you want to tell them what's going on at Buffalo Chip, the new exciting thing that's going to happen out there?
All right. What's cool going on at the Buffalo Chip this year, they're bringing in a tank, a
That
freaking
you
tank that
can
came
drive.
from Iraq during the war. This tank is coming in, and you can drive this with, I think, 4 of your buddies can ride in this, and you might even get to shoot the flamethrower out. First, I heard no, and then they told me yesterday you could shoot the flamethrower. Now, you need to go to the Buffalo Chips website. There's very limited. They only do so many a day, and that's it. But you still be able. It's going to be out back where they do the machine gun stuff. No machine guns this year, just a tank. But I mean, this is cool. I think this is. We've seen this before. We've traveled across the United States, and I see billboards that say, "Go drive a tank." I mean, this is at a freaking rally, and you're going to have your buddies with you to say, you probably all can take a little turn driving the tank. And but you all
And
get to
if
get.
you don't want to have to pay for it, at least you can go out and see somebody driving a tank. That's kind of cool.
We're not going to drive the tank, but we're going to go down there and film the stupid thing. And because I think this is the coolest thing to come to Sturgis is a freaking tank from the war. This thing was used in there, so it's all been painted up, and it'll arrive on the 28th of July. It's supposed to be showing up. We'll be out and we'll get you some footage and show you what this puppy looks like when they roll it off the trailer and everything. Fire it up, move it in place, but. Go to the buffalochip.com. If you want to do it and sign up. I have no idea what it costs. Anything else, check it out. If any of you are going to do it, let us know. We will come and film you while you're there driving that tank. Memory you'll never forget. So maybe we'll even give you a camera to wear. But
Rick MC Biker, he says his used to abs are really getting annoying. It's weird. I don't know why they started putting them on lives, but they have started, and it has nothing to do with us. We don't ask for it.
The only thing I see, we're going through StreamYard. If I was going through YouTube, I could click on the video and say no commercials. But with going through StreamYard, we're going through a third-party company. So I have no, so I can't edit anything that's going to YouTube.
Bill's on.
So we're sorry for commercials, and so sometimes we do just YouTube, but most time we use the StreamYard because we can see all the comments and stuff. And I don't know, I'll have to try YouTube again and see. I don't know if we're really getting any benefits out of using this anymore or not.
Well, we did it because we were having people on too. And
yeah, we don't really have guests as much as we used to. The YouTube, you got to pay more money to have a second person on.
Yeah, so G Grazi, if you wanted to come like the week before, where you can still get a good feel of the Sturgis Rally because pre-rally will be open. There will be a lot of vendors out at the vendor park and at
Black
Rapids
Hills.
Black Hills Harley Davidson. There'll be a lot of motorcycles out here. You can do riding, and it won't be as crowded. And the prices are a lot cheaper.
How many
So,
bikes you see yesterday?
oh my gosh, there was a ton of bikes out. Yeah, and we were on some pretty back roads too.
I was facing the other way. I went to pick up those people talking.
Can you hear me now?
And
Anyway.
but yeah, there's a lot of bikes. There's a lot of people here that live here that own motorcycles. So lots of bikes are local. But we've already seen a ton of bikes
Hey,
coming from
David.
Canada. We've seen bikes from all over the place here already. So yes, there's people here. We just got done talking to a gentleman that brought his mom out from Oregon and brought her out here to kind of explore
Her 75th birthday.
show her all around the Black Hills and stuff. G's gonna take her back home, and then he's coming back out with his
His son.
and
It would be her
they're
grandson.
gonna enjoy the rally.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there's so much to do out here. It just depends on what you want to do. You know, if you're yes, you want to see the concerts. There's not a lot of there's a lot of bands playing. You know, Wednesday nights here downtown they have bands.
Music on Main.
We're gonna try to get out here. I got to look and see what Spearfish is.
Friday
Spearfish,
night.
I've seen some pictures. They do a band, and they had a big spread. And,
Big crowd.
yeah, and I want to check out that. Deadwood, we just had Wild Bill Days. They had a lot of really great bands there. They had one guy that actually was a recording artist. I don't remember his name. I listened to the song. I didn't know any of his songs, but they were really good. They all could be number one songs. He just hasn't got his right push. But that's all going on. We got 4-wheel drive competition that's going to be going on Route 66. We're also going to have days, 76 days with the rodeo. That'll be coming up here in July. We also have the
Trans
three-wheel
Am.
rally. We've got the Trans Am rallies coming into town. You know, that's
We're
like
gonna
the
have Get It On Adventure Fest out
so
at the
lots of
Buffalo
things
Ship.
going on. So there's always, and all the bars are open. Uh, the only one that's not really full swing is the Iron Horse. Their front is open, but their back property you can't get to anything out there. They won't open that up till right at rally time, so you can't get out on their property. But everything else is open. The Knuckle, the One Eye Jacks is open. Loud Americans open. We had a steak dinner last night there at Ribeye because that's what Neil wanted to know if we had beef tips. We were planning on doing our live from there, but somebody's a little cold to sit outside.
Not sitting outside. It's too cold. And the music inside the Loud Americans way too.
Yeah, we
They've
can't do it.
got music in here, but it's
really
very
quiet. Yeah.
no. It's always been that quiet.
Tea.
You've got over 100 people on.
Yay! Talk more about Sturgis.
Or about Sturgis. So you see how I try to get him off the beaten path of the numbers? We've all heard that spiel before, haven't we? Devin, okay. So he must have looked it up. It said anywhere from $500 to $1,000 are the packages to drive the tank. So I think that'd be pretty cool. It's out of my price range, but it would be pretty cool if I had the money to do it. I'd probably do it. So yeah, Happy Life said, what did you say up here earlier? There's a huge shooting range north of Rapid. Back road to the Chip opens next week. So that's pretty cool. And Pete Lyon owns the new shooting range and complex on all the acreage. That's kind of cool. So David Eastwood, were you trying to stir the pot when you said 1 million people? I was like, shh, don't go there. We're done talking about people and how many people come. And that's what he asked him at the council meeting too. He's like, why is it so important to find out how many people come other than you can raise the rates on everything? It doesn't make a difference. I mean, just you need to ask the businesses and ask them, how did you do? So anyway, Phil Garrett says, love your videos so far. I hate that I can't make it this year. Oh, sorry, Phil. Karen says, Hank Williams Jr. is going to be there. That's right. And you're not coming. You would have loved to have been here. I know that. So there you go. So we're really enjoying our time out here at Sturgis, other than it's cold for me, but it's nice riding. We rode yesterday and the weather was like perfect. The humidity hasn't kicked up yet. So that's the main thing, I think. So when the days that it does get in the 80s and 90s, it's still very comfortable. So it's not as it's not sweaty hot. It's just nice and warm. Feel better?
Oh, did I tell you I love Sturgis in the Black Hills?
It's his favorite thing.
It's like being at a carnival.
Carnival.
There's so much. You just
Okay,
can't.
Jeff.
When people always say, "Why do you guys get there so early?" We've been doing something every freaking day, and there's still things that are on the list that we have not been able to do. She wants to go down and do hot springs. Maybe we'll have to see.
If
Either
it's
tomorrow
cold
or
tomorrow,
Wednesday.
we could go down there.
And,
Get in a
but
hot
I mean,
tub.
it's there's just so much. Plus, a lot of you have been giving me more hamburger places. There's a bunch of people gave me like 3 more places in Custer. That's clear on the other side of the world. And so, well, I don't know if we'll make it down there or not. But
Two.
two mints and one.
2 minutes in one. Deb and Mike want to know how many exits away is the Harley dealer from their hotel. So you're on La Crosse, and then there's Haynes. Oh no, then there's the 190, and then Black
Yeah, the
Hills.
ones that we
exit
look at the
55.
hotel.
Yeah.
You're like 3 miles, 4 miles at the most.
Yeah. So you're on La Crosse. That one doesn't really count. Then you'll pass Haynes, and then the I-90.
Haynes isn't even probably a half a mile from.
Yeah,
where that is.
it's
The one from the 190 to that is probably the longest one. That's probably not even a mile and a half the
Yeah.
most.
so, and it's because I don't
Too
know.
far to walk.
Oh yeah, but
If you want to go Uber,
they're at exit 55. Let me see what
I think
exit
it's like 52.
is there. Are they on 52?
I think that's what it is. She's gonna look it up. But just a lot of cool stuff going on. Sturgis is
What exit?
it doesn't matter, even though the city isn't
Rapid City off the 90.
isn't
And
as well organized right now as it probably has been in the past years.
52 and 52. So it's 3 miles.
Yeah, 3 miles from where you're staying to the dealership.
So you're exit 52,
They're at 55.
and they're at 55.
And so, both of them are
Adams is
right
on.
at the exit ramp. So you're not going very far. So yeah, what's nice about Rapid City is we'll go back to what I was saying. So it doesn't really matter what the city does. Main Street's still going to be the same as it always is. They're still going to close Main Street down. It'll be closed down from Friday till Monday morning at 2:00 in the morning. There'll be bike parking only. Make sure you park and don't park in the red. Make sure you look on the side streets. We have 2 side streets that you're only allowed to park on one side because we had trouble a couple years ago. The ambulance couldn't get through to get to somebody. So they changed it to where bikes could not park on the one side to the fire truck and
It's a
the
fire
ambulance
lane.
can get through. So if you park there, just because some other morons are parking there, don't think that, there's only 5 bikes parking there and the rest of the street's open. I'm pulling right in there. Well, you'll be towed away. They don't give you warning. They don't give you because they have to get you out because if the tow truck come down, they run, or I mean the fire truck come down, they will run over your bike if it's in that parking spot. And you're too bad for you.
Michael Adams is on. So you come into Sturgis this year? Because I want to definitely meet up with you if you come out, Michael, you and Brenda. Rabbit is said awesome show. She's got to go. That's Nancy and how's your bike doing? I guess you got it all fixed. We're at the Sturgis Brewing Company, right off of the I-90 and Junction.
What's cool about this place?
It's got all kinds of beers on tap. It's just a nice, quiet place. It's
What else does it have in here when it's 105 degrees outside?
Air conditioning.
And they got soft seats. My butt down, or not even hurting.
Wow, I can't believe that.
Like I lost so much weight, but I lost it all in my butt.
You did.
All I got my bones sticking out there. Or TMI.
Thanks, Bob and Tim. Got to catch up on some of your videos. There you go. And another thing we wanted to remind everybody about is 2 things, I guess. One, at Kathmandu, they just had a cancellation for their house. It sleeps 10 people. If you want to bring more than 10, he says you're more than welcome to bring as many as you want. Sleeps 10 comfortably. It's a 2-story house. It's got a garage. You can put your bikes in it.
Driveway.
So if you were thinking, oh man, we were thinking about coming, but there's probably no place to stay. Call Kathmandu. If you look up further up in the comments, I put the phone number.
Kathmandu Campground Sturgis.
And it's K-A-T, like the song Bob Seger sings, Kathmandu. Somebody else wrote C-A-T, Kathmandu with a C.
K. And it's a cool house. It's a newer style house. It's kind of like the Brady Bunch house, but it's a completely 2 stores. That was a split level. Brady Bunch, yeah. For those that know that.
Yeah.
But it's a cool looking house. It's away from. It's not it's right in the middle of the campground, but there's not any trailers right up against the house. So it's really cool. It's got its own backyard, fenced in. You can bring a dog. They're really good. The price should be pretty good. They're not. They don't dodge people. And the guy just canceled. And what they do, they let them cancel and they give back their money, their deposit, which they're way more than I would do. At this moment, you would have got your deposit back.
Can you give us a burger report? Well, we just had one at Full Throttle.
So we ate at the Full Throttle today, and they're going to be having great smoked food at the Full Throttle that's going to be put on by some of the employees at the Full Throttle. Right? We ate there today. You have to go back and watch that because I'm not going to repeat it in case people already heard it. Great food. They're really Full Throttle. Well, we'll finish the burgers. So right now it is
Louis' burger is probably number one. Just because of the bacon.
Yeah. Second one is the Sugar Shack. Theirs is really juicy, hot, fresh, all that. Those two are my leading ones right now. Everybody else is just kind of mixed in there. I will tell you the ones at the end that I wasn't very happy with. And we're going to talk to the owner there next week too. And so I'm going to see if what I heard from somebody else today that why they're cutting corners and they're cutting it in their food quality and stuff like that. And you're like, you're killing your locals. You're going to kill yourself because the locals are talking bad about your food. And that's why I told that to Michael Ballard today when I told him something about that. When I seen they're going to start doing this, they're going to start cooking their own. Got hamburger. Go through the list of food that the Full Throttle is going to have this year.
They had the hamburgers, which were super thick.
They're the 3/4 or 1 pound burgers, fresh.
It's great. And then they had pulled pork. That was really good. We both just tasted it. We just had a taste of that. I had the brisket. It was awesome. It was very good. And then they had green beans, which was good. They had
they had Polish sausage too.
Oh,
I didn't take any of that.
I'm not a big sauce purchase either. And the cowboy beans,
the poppy thing,
and the jalapeno papa. It was good. And I don't like hot stuff, and it wasn't hot. I could taste. It was. I don't know how to explain it. I could eat it, but you could taste it was warm, but it wasn't like I need a drink. It was good, and it had like cream cheese in it, and I think it had chicken.
I came back and it was gone.
And it was wrapped in bacon. Oh, it was good.
So that's new food that they're going to be having back at the Full Throttle. I'm really excited about the Full Throttle Saloon this year.
So, what was the other thing? Last year, people were staying in the house, had the pirate ship vehicle. Yes, they did. And I thought that's who canceled. And they said, no, they weren't coming this year. The pirate ship people weren't coming. It was some of their friends.
That had booked.
Yeah, and health issues, life happens. And they called and said, we just can't make it. So it's available.
Back their money, and so the house is back up.
So they're very great people.
Resurrection.
There you go. Get some of your buddies Resurrex and come on out. You can rent that house. And,
right there with us.
And Angela will have a bathroom. And
that's right.
There
There'll
you
be a couple bathrooms
and
and showers in that house.
I'm sure there are.
Probably at least 2 full baths, if not 3.
Yeah. GK said, hi there, Bob and Tim. I've been watching you almost come to sit down, but you both choose to sit around and be lazy instead. Well, right now, watching up to this week. There you go. Jim Brandt said maybe 5 miles. I don't know what they're talking about miles.
Well, don't worry about it.
Neil says his sister said it was 8 miles away, and I don't know.
I'll let them talk.
I show 104 on and only 63. Hit the thumbs up. So if you're on and you haven't, hit the thumbs up button for us. The other thing I want to talk about besides the house at Kathmandu is, don't forget, if you haven't already, if you wanted a chance to win that intelligent cranium helmet that is like an awesome, it's like the state-of-the-art helmet. It's got a camera on the front, 2 on the back. It's got the visor that changes colors. It's got, if you need it light or dark, it knows when to do it.
It's only a large or medium is all it can be for size.
It's got a tracker on it, so if someone happens to steal it, they can find it. It comes with its own lock. It's wrapped with stars on it.
What's it made out of?
And it's made out of carbon fiber, so it's nice and light, so it's not going to kill your head. And you can see your maps up in your visor up at the top. You can just look up and happen to see your maps. You can see who's behind you. You don't have to turn your head. You don't have a blind spot anymore. It's an awesome
helmet. It's got a brake light in the back.
So for $25, you can get a chance to win that helmet.
And the money we're getting is what's going to buy more bikes at the Mecum auction for us to give away to veterans. So,
And it's a write-off because it's a 501c.
Yep. And so if you do $100, you get 5 entries. If you do $1,000, you get $1,000. You get 80 entries into the account, and all of it's tax deductible. And it's all going to our veteran bike. 100% of our money. We had one person ask that they wanted to pay on PayPal. The reason we're using this Jiffy is because we get 100% of the money. So that way we don't lose out. Like a lot of times, like in PayPal and stuff, they're going to take 10%.
Venmo, PayPal, all those other apps. They'll take 10%.
Yeah, they take a fee. They take a fee that we lose. So that's less money. Now, the only catch to this is when you're doing that, Zeffy will ask for a tip. They start out about an 18% tip. You can put 0 in there if you want. But what they do is that it's for them. It's for you to cover the expense of them doing it. They've got 300,000 non-for-profits that they have, and that's how we found this, because we wanted to make sure when we do this, we're going to try to keep it as long as possible, that every single penny that comes in goes out only for the bikes, that we're not taking any money out for the building. I'm not taking anything out. Like right now, Art bought the tires for the bike. I bought the parts for the speedometer and the ignition switch. We paid for that.
And the phone comes out of
our
Bob and Tam's channel. That doesn't have
and our
anything to do
business
with the bike
cards,
build.
same thing. The website was all paid through the Bob and Tam site too. So it was nothing at 100, every single penny, actually every single penny still in the bank. Nothing's been taken out for anything at this moment for the bike. And we got our first bike from Red Rock Harley Davidson. And that bike we will be giving away after Sturgis. We'll explain at the end of Sturgis, we'll explain how if you're a veteran, how you can get in the entry to win this bike. We're not selling tickets. We're not doing any, it's not a raffle. It is a giveaway. And we'll explain how that's going to work after Sturgis. Too much is going on. But right now we want to get this helmet, and we'd like to get that given away at the end of Sturgis too.
So GK is Grizz. Highway Hillian.
So he's done?
Yep.
Should have came down here tonight.
I know. He probably didn't know. We should have called and
Yeah.
told you where we were going to be. Army Dad Bagger says thumbs up. Jana says, hi, Bob and Tam. I made it. How about that? And PD Hydrophonic, he says, hi, you all. Or she says, hi, you all. PD. So I don't know if they're a police officer or not. So anyway, if you wanted to get a raffle or a chance to win that awesome helmet, you can go to the bikebuildsforvets.com and you can get an entry there. Yeah. And then we're going to probably have the drawing.
Probably after we get home.
Well,
that's my goal. She wants to raise
I want to sell 200 tickets, and that would get us $5,000. So then when we go to Mecum auction, we can buy 2 or 3 bikes.
I think right now we're probably, I haven't looked at the current amount. We probably have gotten close to $1,500 so far.
So that's my goal. Yeah, I got a commercial too. So our goal is to sell 200 chances. So yeah. So and I would be happy with that. And then we could do the raffle, and it's, I mean, if you didn't see the video that he made on it, go back and look at it. The helmet is amazing.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna re-edit that video, and we'll probably stick it up here one of these days. Maybe we'll do it on a Sunday. We'll put it up in the morning, or maybe on a Saturday here before the rally starts. I can put it back up and you guys can see.
Somebody suggested that we sell tickets while we're here.
But then we got to buy tickets. I have to print them up.
Tickets, no?
No.
I've got the little red tickets.
No, you can't use those. You'd have to get their names and address and all that. It would be just like those ones that you'd have to explain on the ticket what you're given, just like what they do at the trailer.
Halifax.
Yes. And that would cost us hundreds and hundreds of dollars to print tickets out. You couldn't give out those little numbers, because then what happens if you get that little number and you can't read what the guy wrote, and how do we find the winner? It would just be too much trouble. You would have to print up real tickets to give away, where they could fill out their name and all that stuff. Then they would have to keep the copy to show that they bought that ticket. That would just be, I can understand that would be a good idea, but then that's one more thing. We're carrying it around, and we're carrying money, and I'd have to keep track of the money that I have in one pocket versus the money in.
Right. We have to get one of those bank bags.
Well, then once again, now you're carrying a bag around, and people see that you're carrying a money bag around with you. So they might steal it. There's people here that aren't motorcycle people.
Maybe we can do it at the meet and greet. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it works. Hendra said, okay. Neil said, another commercial. Nikki, 2424. Bob, where was the worst burger you had so far?
All right, I'll tell you. It's not really the worst burger I've ever had in my life. It's the worst that I've had. It just I ate it all, so that's a good sign because I have taken hamburger and I've tasted this taste before. I'm not sure what it is. It was at the Knuckle. We have had over the years. It has been one of the best hamburgers I've ever had. I don't know. Somebody else told me that maybe they had the if I'd have to go in and look at the burner because I work on natural gas, but that was my last job. But they could have the burners not adjusted properly that's letting too much gas out. And it's a really weird taste. And I've tasted this before at other restaurants. And I thought maybe it was a seasoning that they did. But when I was talking to somebody the other day at another restaurant, when I was doing burger talk, that they said it's probably the burners aren't adjusted properly. And that,
So it was more like of a propane or a butane taste.
yeah, but it did, which I don't know what that would taste like, but it was just a weird taste. Like I say, I have probably in the last year, I have probably had a dozen hamburgers that tasted exactly like this one.
He thought it was the seasoning or something that they used that he didn't taste it.
And I don't like it. And like I say, I've tasted it at a few other places before, and
Well,
so
we're not big onion people too, and that's what he thought maybe they had like something
Onion.
they'd fried like an onion, like somebody wanted grilled onions on their hamburger right before they fixed his hamburger. I don't know.
But
But
see, I don't know how they're cooking them. If they're cooking them on a flat griddle, if they're cooking them on a grill, on like a regular like a grill with a flame underneath it, I don't know. I would probably give the Knuckle another opportunity before I would.
because before that would, if he wanted a hamburger, that would be of our choice to go to, was to go to the Knuckle. What do you want?
I'm just gonna throw this junk away. It still had paper in it. That's fine. Leave it alone. And so that's and then most of the other places have just been okay. Like we had one down in Custer. It was okay. It was a very pretty burger, but I mean it was okay. Wasn't the worst. Wasn't the best. It wasn't.
Where was the pretty burger?
At the one in Custer. Oh, at
yeah.
the
Oh
brewery
yeah,
there.
the brewery. Yeah,
And I mean it was okay. Well, mainly what I'm doing is telling you.
lighter fluid. They said is a disgusting taste.
Yeah, well
We've
that I
had
know.
that
I know that
before.
taste because that we've done.
Diesel fuel.
That'd be really bad. We've done lighter because that's why at home now I buy the briquettes that already have the lighter fluid in it because we don't usually have enough time to wait for it all to burn off. So yes, I've had that. I know that taste. It wasn't as bad. This was worse than that. And I don't know.
So Devin's on. He said the Wyatt Souvenir Cup this year has a QR code on it to win a motorcycle sponsored by Eric Blank Injury Attorney. There you go.
There you go. So check that out.
Yeah.
We went there. So far, I only put up the other day. I think it was 2 days ago. Wyatt was on our opening to welcome everybody out to the 85th. I haven't done his little thing yet. I got to find a place to stick him in. And but we went out there last Saturday, I guess.
Yeah.
And stopped by and
Or maybe it was Friday because
yeah,
Dennis
Friday,
wasn't there.
Yeah, Devin
Devin.
wasn't
Dennis
there.
is her last name.
Wasn't there. And Mama and Wyatt was there. Wyatt's
Robin. I remember her name.
Wyatt's getting big, and so we did a little plug with him. And but yeah, go out there and check it out. He's got a bunch of stuff going on. He's going to have a root beer float day and a whole
That's
bunch of cool
on
stuff.
the 6th, I think. I think it's a Wednesday because it's official root beer float day, and they're going to have free root beer floats.
There you go.
They're getting the root beer sponsored by the pecan candy root beer. I don't know, out of
Probably
Keystone?
Devin did the chief call you because he said we're going to probably do the same ride this year that we did last year, which we ended up stopping out there and seeing you guys again. So I don't know if Chief talked to you about on that's Thursday or Wednesday is the Chief's ride.
They said it was the Wednesday before the rally, I think, last year. So yeah, if anybody wants to go on a ride with us, we're going to be doing the Chiefs ride. If you're out here early, that's that Wednesday before the rally.
You go to the City of Sturgis website and you can sign up there for it.
Yep. And Lefty Guerrero.
All that money goes to what's they call that group, the
Pals.
and it's for the kids. Keep them out of trouble.
Police Athletic
League.
League Society. I don't
I don't know. Not society. It's a C.
That's an S. Society's an S.
No, is it?
Yes.
Great group for a bunch of kids.
Yeah.
Keep them out of trouble.
Hello, Bob and Tam. My wife and I will be there on July 1st for 2 months. Probably see you guys around. Okay, Lefty, do you have our phone number? If not, you can go to
You can
bobandtams@yahoo.com. Email us your phone number and your names, and we'll email you back our phone number. So go to that there, email us, and we'll email you. And then when you get out here,
she'll text you our phone number and say, "Hey, this is Bob and Tam."
and then we can come out. I was going to look up the root beer day. That's what I was going
Devin
to do.
just told you. Is he still there?
Yeah,
he probably find it faster than you can.
Well, I'm
He
pretty
already
sure it's
knows
that
it.
Wednesday. It's August 6th, I believe.
As long as they ain't, it's probably Wednesday because we got to.
Oh, that's September.
Can't
Yeah,
be
August 6th.
That's gonna be one busy day.
But his is at night. I think it's like 4 to 6, 6 to 8. It's in the evening, and they're going to have a band out there, and they're going to have yard games, and they're going to have free root beer floats. Your favorite thing. Not mine. I don't like
It's hard
soda.
ice cream.
I don't like soda, and well, they said
It'd probably be hard ice cream.
yeah,
They wouldn't have a machine to put salt.
because they said that the grocery mart
Couldn't wear
here.
the underwear.
The,
The girl's
the
got a dress
grocery
on.
mart.
Wedgie.
The
Sure,
grocery
right
mart
there,
here on all right. The grocery mart here on Junction is going to supply the ice cream, so I'm sure it'll be hard ice cream. Lefty says, "Sounds good, Neil." Yes, August 6th, 6 to 8. Okay, that's when it is. Dennis
He
said.
could do it faster than
Devin
you can
said.
look it up.
Well, I said it too. Wyatt is still sporting a mohawk. I haven't
Right
seen
now,
him
he
in
didn't
one.
have one, but I imagine when the rally comes, he'll have his mohawk
Probably.
because that's his signature. Oh, and he is officially trademarked now.
Yes, he is.
Big time.
We are going to try the Boar's Nest burger. They've
Yes.
got a specialty burger which has pulled pork on it and all kinds of stuff. He probably won't eat that, but what we've been trying to do is get the same burger everywhere we go. A bacon cheeseburger is
Yes.
what we've been trying to
Because
get.
out of the full throttle, they didn't have bacon yet. And after I told them, well, what ended up happening was I was sitting there talking to the guy that we talked to that's taking care of the food. And I was telling him, he's like, well, what's the best hamburger you found? I was telling him all this. And then they were talking about the bacon. They got to find the bacon like that. And so the guys were talking about the bacon. Well, then Michael walks up and starts listening to me talking about,
Your
the
burger
best
challenge.
burgers and stuff like that. And Michael walks away and the guy looks at me and says, you know what Michael's thinking, don't you? And I'm like, no. He says, you said something about being the best burger. He's thinking now, how can we make the best burger? I said, he didn't say nothing. He says, no, I can look at his face and I can see the gears in his head moving in his head that he's thinking, wow, we could have the best burger during the rally.
You got 10 minutes
But
left.
that's the Bob and Tam show is telling you that you're gonna. I guess they're gonna use but everybody there today all said. So a lot of the people that come on this Sunday is a lot of the people come every week.
Yep.
To this thing. It's not much really of a car show. I think that we had like 6 cars out there, 8 cars. They give like $100 away to the best car, best bike. They have they're really big into is the cornhole. These people are damn good out there.
They're doing a tournament.
Got like three in a row and it went right in the first. And I'm like, damn guy, you're good. He says, no, I'm not that good. You ought to watch her. You ought to watch them. And these guys go around a whole little circuit here in Rapid City and stuff. And they play almost every night in a competitions and
Well,
stuff.
Remember back in the day, it was
It's like
darts.
being Olympics.
Like when we used to play darts. Remember
This
all
is
the people
better than pickleball. They should have made this a Olympic sport.
It probably is.
I doubt. Cornhole's
Mohawk would be a new look for Bob. Yeah.
Sometimes it looks like I do because of the way they cut my hair. But
Yeah. SNS says Mike doesn't talk much. He just likes to think. Yep.
we have what's his name's coming out here? The guy that who's that guy who said his name the other day? The guy that people made fun of him. Was it from Myrtle Beach? It's a rally where they got a guy that they always blame everything on him. I can't think of what his name is. And he likes to meet us. I don't know. I can't think of the guy's name. Doesn't matter that if you don't know.
I don't remember. I don't know. It's not ringing a bell. Riding to Sturgis from California, staying at Days Inn Campground, getting there Friday, August 1st. There you go, Army Dad Beggar.
Hey, got one of their cabins? Are you bringing a tent? They got some nice cabins. Some of their cabins have bathrooms in them.
Yeah.
Not all of them, just a few of them. Days Inn's a pretty cool campground. The only problem I got with them is they got showers that you got to put quarters in. Well, they do it because they stop because too many people. Well, there's people that I understand this, that there's people that will especially they're so close to the highway, they just come in and use their bathrooms and stuff. And we've heard stories where people are in there for like an hour and they're doing their laundry in the
Washing
shower.
clothes.
And so I understand that, but we see that when sometimes we go to state parks, they have coin operated dimes or quarters. You get tired of your hair's all soaked up and you're like, I'm trying to find a freaking dime to put in the machine.
Grow out. It's a quarter.
Yeah, well, I mean, some
I know.
are dime. The ones there are a quarter.
Yeah, so we do. You had to put them up there, and then it's like,
Yeah.
well, then some of them. Where were we at? It wasn't very long ago, and you have to push the button, and you barely get wet, and then you got to hurry up and push the button again, and then push the button again. It's like you can't even soap up. And it's like
that's when we were in Arizona.
Oh, was it? That was
So we
like,
got to where we took the shower together. So one would be standing there pushing the button while the other one's
because it only stays on like maybe 30 seconds,
Probably
and
not
then it
even that
comes
long.
off, and it's like, oh my gosh, I hate the quarter showers, especially when they have a shampoo on the head.
The problem is that you can't get that dollar in that machine. You got to change her there. Credit card would be nice. You can
Yeah.
just, like the car wash, you just swipe it, and when you're done, you push the button. That would be costing more money.
Make sure you give us a thumbs up if you're on.
Yeah,
Neil
that all
says
appreciates the counting with
the algorithm
Yeah.
for YouTube.
that helps out a lot.
For YouTube looks
I
at
got
that.
98. I want to appreciate everybody watching. Hopefully, hey, if any of you have been coming to my Sturgis page that this is showing up on, I don't think we got that all written on there. Don't I have that on there?
I think it was a ticker tape you had. Sturgis right there. Your thumb is on it.
So if anybody went to that site lately, I am getting an average of about 100 people a day coming to this
That Facebook
Facebook page. What linked you to that page? If you've been there, if you've come to that page in the last month, how did you find us? I have probably gained 2,000 subscribers on that page in the last month. And I don't understand. I thought it was maybe from the app. There's a Sturgis.
Oh yeah.
Is it just Sturgis Rally? Sturgis Rally
app.
You can't find it in the App Store. You have to Google it. Sturgis. They got a lot of great information on that app. We met with the guy. He actually started talking to us when he first designed it. We're actually one of his YouTube channels. We're actually at the top that recommends the rallies and stuff like that. And he was actually on one of our rallies at the end. You could do the barcode, and you have to do a little bit of work to get it to download on your phone. Because what happens when you go through the App Store, if any of you know Adam's Oil, what's Adam's wife's name? Katie. She had that website. She was trying to do stuff. Well, she ended up having a lot of trouble with the app because somehow these app companies that put your app out, like Apple or whoever's doing it, Google, I don't know who makes the app thing, but they sometimes give people a hard time on being able to process your app. So this guy is doing it himself, and you have to go to the barcode here. She's going to put the barcode up there. I don't know. It's closer.
I can't see it.
There you go. Whoops. It was there. There you go. Scan that. It's free.
It's a really good app.
It's
It's
just
got
for Sturgis.
maps on there. It's got the concerts. It's got campgrounds.
Well, one of the other things are you're riding your bike. The gentleman that just said he's riding his bike from California.
Yep.
Every town on the highway, if you're coming the 80 or the 90 or any of the major highways, he's got every town where he's got the police department, the fire department, ambulance, hospitals, all that pertinent information on there. If something happens, because if something happens on the highway, you're like, you want to go to 911. Well, sometimes 911 doesn't always work in a lot of these rural areas. And so there's a way that it's got a lot. It's got a lot of
information. It's very user friendly. Like I can use it. I can navigate around in it. It's really good.
And for somebody that's not very computer savvy,
I don't like computers because they don't like me. Because I know they can do what I want it to do. I just don't know how to get it to do it. But anyway, it's a great app. And the guy that is doing the app, he's a great guy.
And what he's doing is he's not really selling advertisers. What he's doing is he's doing like what we do. He's doing sponsors. So like Black Hills Harley sponsors it. Sturgis Indian dealer, they sponsor it over there. So there's people like that. They got the little bullets at the end. So it's not constant advertising popping up in front of your face. And so he's got a list of all the different, like all the motorcycle shops around here. He's got all the like restaurants and all kinds of cool stuff that he's got in there. And it's not just people that are just paying he's putting information on just.
So when you open it up, it's like that, and it's just very easy to navigate. It tells you the countdown to Sturgis. It's I don't know. It's an awesome app.
It doesn't
And
cost you anything. There's no fees.
and this is kind of what we try to do. We try to get all this information and give it to you guys. And when you get to Sturgis and you have this app and you're just like,
what concerts are
what
going on
concerts are
tonight?
going tonight? I want to go to a concert. And you can click on events and concerts or bands or
See,
what.
that's the countdown. What has it got down there? What's the actual time?
39 days, 7 hours, 9 minutes, and 20 seconds.
19 seconds, 18 seconds, 17 seconds. Holy crap, we can count down right now. And
We
just
better
stay,
hurry up.
we'll stay live till he's
Yep.
probably counting down till midnight
Yeah.
on
But when you download the app, there's a little button here. It says, put this on my main screen. I couldn't figure out how to get it to stay on my phone. And then Bob finally said, there's a little button there.
well, what you
And
do
it's
is you
the
hit
yellow
that
button.
button, and then you got to go up to your bars and all that, depending on what kind of phone. Her phone was outdated compared to my phone, so it was a little different from her to mine. And then, but it's not in your app because you can't put it like on an Android. You couldn't put it with your apps because it's not considered an app. So mine's on my front page. It's down at the bottom. I figured I'm just going to leave it there, and then after the rally, I'll just delete it because I'm not going to use it after Sturgis.
So anyway.
Got to let go of my tea again.
All right. Well, after that, you get to say goodbye. It's 2 hours. Well, no, you're not. I had my hot chocolate. I called because I called because I was so cold and I wanted hot chocolate. So we got there. I called and I said, we're coming down to eat. And I said, I said, do you have hot chocolate? And they're like, no, we have coffee. And I'm like, I don't like coffee. And they said, well, if you bring your hot chocolate in, we have hot water. So we stopped at the grocery store. I got me some hot chocolate. I got me some marshmallows. And I made my own hot chocolate because it's cold out here. It's like 65 degrees. Anything below 80 is cold to me. That's why I live in Arizona, where it's 127 in the summer. I can handle that. But it's not the sweaty hot, like I said. Wyatt is on the map, and he's on that app too, that's for sure. Stay healthy and stay educated. Thanks, SNS Contracting. Rick's on. Hey, how you doing? How is it hot down there in Vegas, or is it cold there too? I know I'm not doing it next weekend, but I can pay for gas to my Sturgis next month. There you go. Beth says, comment didn't show up. Uh-oh, which comment? Garrett retracted his message. Rick says, I'm closing up my yard sale, so what did I miss? A little bit of everything. I don't know why your comment didn't show up, Beth. Steven, I saw they had snow in Montana. I don't know if they had snow in Montana, but they had a tornado in North Dakota, so we need to send all our prayers out to all those that got affected by that tornado. That was horrible. And all of our prayers to our nation and our leaders to make sure they make the right decisions for all the craziness that's going on in the Middle East. So Matt Montgomery says we need a map showing us with a highlighter where the road construction is.
Well, we're going to, right now, the only construction that's going on in this general area is down on the 385. So we did ride it again yesterday. So there is a little bit of construction, which I guess we kind of messed that up because there was a little bit of construction on the other side of Sheridan Road. Remember when that real big dip was? When I told that girl the other day there was none?
Yeah.
So there is some.
But it was only it wasn't even a quarter mile. It was just that little bit. And I think that's where they were digging that hole to put that pipe in, remember?
Yeah.
And we had to go around, and that was that real bumpy area.
We will do one more video on that probably the week before pre-rally. So that way you got a good understanding of where we're at. Because they stopped. Right now it's completely open. So they opened it on the June 14th or something, I think is the day they opened up the highway. And there was some roughness Saturday when we rode on it. It was probably 25 feet, 50 feet. It was really rough. I was trying to hold my drink because it was bouncing and I couldn't pull the clutch in. She's like, slow down, slow down, slow down. I can't.
Well, I mean, we were hitting the bumps hard, and I'm like, you need to slow down a little bit.
And so that was the only really bad spot. But I mean, it would have, if you're unexperienced, that would have been tough. But which I'm probably at this moment, if I was going to ride it, if I was going to have her ride her bike, I would only do it during the week. Why? Because they've got all the steamrollers out there and they're constantly rolling it. They're wetting it down. They're packing it down. Somebody else asked the other day if they had chloride or anything in the water. I think that's what he asked for. He said because it would corrode your bike and your boots and everything else. I don't think so because I didn't have any whiteness or anything on my truck. So I'm thinking it's only water. We didn't ask anybody yet. So that Joe today, I think somebody we talked to today said they knew somebody from the county. But I don't remember who, if that was that Joe. I don't know. Somebody.
I don't know. Matt says, oh, okay, we just did that. Billy Ray says it's only 95 in Havasu. That's not bad. I would be very happy if I was home today. Janice says it's very refreshing, Neil. Thanks for all the information. We'll definitely use it on the road. Hope to see you guys in Sturgis. Beth said a bad comment about the worst restaurant in Sturgis. I tried 3 times to give them a chance, and it's so bad. I emailed the owner and named it, and it was rude what I said. Rick said it was in the low 90s today, no wind gusts, 30 to 40 miles an hour. That's up in Vegas, so that's good. That's a nice temperature. Cool. The map will help us just before we get there. And like I said, I would say if it's not chipped and tarred before the rally, it might even be asphalted, but it will definitely be better than what we rode on it the other day.
Yes.
So.
And this is 100 times better than last year. Yeah. Last year was like you had to dodge boulders and holes on it right before the rally.
Big rocks. Yeah, I mean, they weren't.
This one's more like somebody else said more. It was like more like mud. Well, it's not really mud. I don't know what it is. It's not like that. Like when you go back by the Buffalo Chip, you go out the back way. It's kind of that, like almost like a clay or something, that red stuff. And that's not at all like this. This area where they're at, I don't know why it is what it is, but it's almost like a real hard mud, and you can see the rocks underneath, but it's really smooth. You'll see it on the video tomorrow. You watch the video tomorrow night. At the very end, it's going to show us riding down that road. You're going to see the really rumpy part too. And but it wasn't bad. We did see a couple motorcycles that had passed us on the way out, so we knew they rode it. And then we had a couple bikes when we was going out onto the 16. They were coming down it, so they were on their way to go in too. So this trip, we did see some bikes on it versus the first day we rode on it. There was no, we didn't see any motorcycles. There was a semi drove down the road and a bunch of RVs. So if I was pulling my trailer, I would have no trouble doing it. And right now, I'm going to say good that if you're bringing your bike, even if you're pulling a trailer behind your bike, I would have no trouble riding on it. Ride it this way. If you're coming now, I would make sure it's Monday through Friday. When the guys are out there to where you might end up having to have a pilot car with you, but they're when we were on it the other day, they were constantly rolling one side, then they'd open that side up, and then they'd roll the other side, put water on it. They were and it was nice. You could walk down and it wasn't like muddy or anything like that.
And it wasn't slick mud either. And it was packed. It was hard packed.
Yeah. And so I don't know but right along there, I don't think they're going to have asphalt down by that time because they're cutting the hills down. So what they're doing is when you watch the video tomorrow, you can see how wide the road is now. What somebody told me, which I don't know if this is true or not, the reason they're doing what they're doing is there's been so many people that have gotten killed in car wrecks out there from animals running in the road because they're coming out of the ditch. You can't see them until it's too late. And that's a highway. People are doing, 55, 65 miles an hour on it. Now the road's so wide and the ditches next to it is more level now. You got a little bit better. Not saying you won't hit a deer there, but at least you'll have a little bit more idea. Okay, here it comes. Not where, surprise, it's there in front of your windshield or in front of your bike. So, but the road it's wide enough now to be 4 lanes. But it's only right now 1 lane on each side. So.
And then you got a shoulder. So.
Yeah. So it's a lot nicer now in that section. Now, some of the old highway is still, like once you pass Sheridan Road now, going the other way, all the way to Deadwood or whatever, there's no construction at all. Nothing on the 385. Now, there was some construction coming in on the 90, coming from California side. Some of the bridges along the 90. And on the 80 there was some construction going on. You had to drop down to one lane.
And there was last year too. But
Now in South Dakota, all that will be stopped. They probably will have both. So it looks like they're just kind of fixing the bridges a little bit. Like one lane's fixed, the other one, and they might already be fixed by now. Because that was 3 weeks ago when we drove up. So it's probably already taken care of by now. But all that construction will stop. But if you're coming from Wyoming or Colorado, their construction does not stop for the rally. Only South Dakota stops construction.
might have to get off anyway because my battery's dying.
Your battery's dying.
It looks pretty low.
33%.
Oh, okay. I thought it said 3%. So anyway, but we're having a great time. Danny's on. Hey, Danny, how you doing? And so is Cooper Dewey.
Pretty good. What's your name? Ashley. You come here, ask for Ashley. She's a very good waitress.
Yes.
You got to tell the owner, Brian, that.
Probably one of the best we've had.
She's constantly come up and asked us if we needed anything, wanted anything. All the girls here are very friendly.
Yeah.
Sturgis overall, what's nice when you come early is you get the local people. The people that are working here now are people that live around here. When you come during the rally, they bring in a lot of girls and stuff. You know, Karen and all those girls. Those girls are all nice too. But you're bringing in people that don't live here. You're not South Dakotans. And the people that live here, that's one of the reasons we love Sturgis and the Black Hills and all this area. Is you really find that these people are down to earth. That's like we always say. I call this God's country because it's just the people that live here. It's just so relaxing to be here. It's just people are nice. You got good service. It's something you don't get to see every day. We lived in California for 17 years, and then we've traveled so much. It's just really hard to find good waiters or waitresses anymore. Even to find somebody that wants to give you customer service. You know, people want to argue with you now. If something comes, we were somewhere the other day, and she had ordered my hamburger plain, and when she went back up there and showed it wasn't plain, the girl wanted to argue with her. And it's like, just fix it.
I took the bun off, and we were taking a picture of it, and I saw all the mayonnaise, and we don't like mayonnaise on our hamburger. So when she came back, she's like, is there a problem? And I said, can we just get a new bun? And she was like, ah. And I don't think she was aggravated at us asking for a new bun. I think she was aggravated because she put plain, no mayonnaise, and they still slapped it on there and gave it to us. So,
but I mean,
anyway.
I was talking more of the time we went to Chick-fil-A.
Oh, well.
Which is sad for Chick-fil-A because we've always had great service at Chick-fil-A.
Well, and we had a bad experience at In-N-Out, and they usually don't have a bad experience here either. So they said, Cooper Dewey, 23, says, we've been loving your informational videos, and we'll be out there for Bike Week. All right. Sounds good. There's our email.
My question before we get off tonight, was the 1 hour video, was that too much to put in a video?
So did you watch it, those of you that are on that 1 hour video, or did you just watch part of it or skip through it or watch a little bit and got off? I don't know.
We didn't want it to be that long, but was trying to show the ride and try to put stuff on there. Wanted to kind of show you what, because what the idea of that was, which I haven't done anymore, was I have a lot of people that have asked us in the past. They're coming for 3 days to do Sturgis. What is the most stuff we can do in one day?
Grizzly said 1 hour was too much. Well, I was thinking, we didn't know how long it was going to be. At the beginning, we could have said, this is going to be a 1 hour video. So pause it right now, go grab you something to drink, go to the bathroom, and get a popcorn.
Yeah.
And there you have a movie. There you go. I don't know. But we didn't know it was going to be that long. He doesn't know until he edits it. So.
Well, we're trying to show all the turns, because I try to show on some of these rides, some of the curves and stuff that are in it. Because if you go down and go, well, there wasn't, it didn't really show us anything on the road. It ended up being the road kind of sucked. Well, I kind of want to give you an idea, give you enough to where, I like the video. We just did one that's going to come out tomorrow. We did another ride. Well, it's actually, the whole ride only takes 30 minutes, but the video is 18 minutes long. Now, it also is that we talk and everything else to this too. So the one tomorrow is going to be a little bit shorter, but it's kind of the same format, but it's a really good ride that you can do from the dealership that's less than an hour ride and get some great food at the same time and see a lake and see. It's pretty cool. It was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. I thought the ride would be longer, but it was pretty curvy.
So Glenn Coleman said, watching you live, front two seats over. I'm guessing he's sitting down on their front two seats, maybe out
Oh,
front.
maybe they're here.
Essence Contracting said, yep, that's why I love living in Sturgis, Lead, and Deadwood. Cliff in Arizona said, I enjoy the content this year, especially the food reviews. Also, the road from Hill City to Keystone, that was cool. There's another cool ride coming up, too, in the next couple of days. You'll have to watch that one, Cliff. Mike says, Bob and Tim, are you going to have some meetups somewhere on the first weekend?
Yes,
Yes.
we're working on that now. We've got a few people. We're still waiting for them to
Yes,
show
really
up.
right.
Because what we're trying to do is have a couple well, we're going to do one or two, probably at Kathmandu for sure. And then we're trying to do maybe one or two at some select locations. And
We haven't gotten confirmation on
yeah,
those yet, or we
one
tell
of them,
you.
the person's not here yet. So we want, well, actually, two of them aren't here yet. So we're trying to see how that's all going to work out. And if it all works out, we'll be able to announce. We'll announce it before the rally. So we'll announce it before the end of July. That we'll announce where they're at. And as soon as we find out they're okay, we might even know in the next 2 weeks where we'll be able to announce it to you.
Cooper D. Week said, I wouldn't want to watch an hour-long everyday video, but it was a really good video. Wouldn't want to do it every day, but that one was okay. One every once in a while, I guess. Dustin said an hour was great. Cliff in Arizona said, I left the long video run while I was doing other stuff and came back to it. It was okay. Okay to mix it up. Army Dad Bagger said, I watched it all, enjoyed it all. I took notes. There you go. Neil says, I haven't the opportunity to watch it yet, but things popped up this morning. That was a couple days ago, Neil. You have been my nighttime after I've been working all day at the end, so I caught everything up last night. Custer is so green. Yeah, right now it's really pretty out
That's
here.
what's bad, because when you guys get here, it's just like the Badlands. We haven't made it out there yet because it hasn't been the greater weather yet to go out there. And because either it's been too hot or too cold. So we're kind of waiting. But the same thing, when we went out there last year, we went out there early to Badlands, and it was so green. And then because the rest of the year, by the time you get out here, everything's dead. And it's like everything right now is so green. The grass is soft and everything. It's really, it's not a bad time to even think about coming out to Sturgis now.
Yeah.
Maybe you can't come out during the rally, or you don't want to deal with all the people. I mean,
especially if you don't really want to come out to get your bike worked on, because that's the only advantage of coming out for the rally is the vendors are here.
That and the big bands that are here.
Well, yeah. If you're not a band person, not a vendor person, any time to come out during the summer is a great time to come out.
Because all these bars are all open. Everything's there's a lot of great riding to do every day out here. There's just so much. And like I said, there's bands, but they're more small town. Last year the city had a up and coming country seller. I can't remember what her name was, but she did a song with.
Oh, Gretchen Wilson.
Yeah, and it came off the charts. I don't know if it became a number one or not, but it was kind of like she had already booked
doing Whiskey Man or something like that.
Yeah, doing the rally or doing their event that they have here, Music on Main Street on Wednesdays, and all that happens before the rally because they stop it like 2 weeks before the rally. They stop it, so you don't get to see it during the rally.
Who sings Whiskey Man?
But I mean, it was they did, some of the bands are pretty good. The one they had in Deadwood the other day was really good, and then
Jessie G.
Yeah, Jessie G was the girl that was here last year. But they had a girl the other day. It got gigged on my channel when I just filmed a little bit of her in Deadwood, and she must have a song out because they caught it. Well, she ended up that Sunday she was at the Full Throttle. She played out there for the free concert. So those are all free things that you can go see and hear, and there's no charge for any of that going on out here. So you can come out here and there's still entertainment going on out here at the Baymont. They have a band every Friday and Saturday night. So there's stuff going on out here all the time. There's probably in Rapid City and Spearfish, there's probably some bands going on there on the weekends. So there's things to do and there's some entertainment to come out here to. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's not a bad time to come out here. One Sexy Biker Chick, she's open downtown. There's a couple tattoo places open. They're selling T-shirts already. There's stuff that's, if you want to buy that kind of stuff, it's here. You can go ahead and buy it. The dealership's got all their 85th stuff. Oh, that's what I was going to mention. We have exactly 185th anniversary Bob and Tam stickers. You have to ask for those when you're here. We're not mailing them out. We're not saving them. If you want one, you have to ask for that particular sticker. You have to say, hey, Bob and Tam, I want an 85th sticker. You only have one of the two. They're two different ones. One is this logo here, and underneath of it, it says Sturgis 85th, 2025. And the other one's like the one that we have with this cartoon on the back that we've been giving out stickers to. It's got it at the bottom of that one. So, but you have to ask for the sticker, and there's only one. There's 50 of each. And one sticker, I don't have them yet. They're on their way. They're supposed to be here next week. If you ask for them, you get them. If not, you get the regular sticker.
They're gone.
That's
And
right.
when they're gone, they're gone.
We're not ordering anymore.
So
we paid for all those.
Donald Clark said, started watching at 17 minutes to now. Lots of information for me in North Carolina. Usually 8 to 15 minutes of a video works for me and my attention span. David Eastwood just said he registered him and Linda for the Chiefs ride. GK
Must
rode.
be somebody we know.
I
He
rode
just
with.
waved. The guy here.
Oh.
He waved.
Just rode Custard Wildlife Loop in Iron Mountain on Friday. It was beautiful and green, so much cooler in the hills than it was in Sturgis.
yeah.
Yep. SNS Contracting said they're still doing the bands on Main Street each week for right now. Yes,
for
they are.
Wednesday nights.
Bob, what's your thoughts on 2016 Road Glide Ultra with 16,000 miles and a ton of chrome? It's 12,000. Is that a good price? 12,000 a good price. It has a
106.
2016.
Oh, 2016. Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that later, Neil. Whoops.
I would say it's not a bad price for that low of miles. I definitely would want to have it checked out just to make sure there's nothing physically wrong with the bike. Who's asking that?
Neil.
Oh, Neil's thinking about looking at it.
Rick says, Tam, I'm going to call Chris Campground to see if they have an opening for the Friday and Saturday before I get there, the Sunday, the 27th, so we can't even get there earlier. There you go.
And they probably would, because most of the campgrounds before the rally have spots. It's just as the rally gets closer, it's like Kathmandu. If you want to come for pre-rally, they've got hookups for pre-rally. So you could come in and say, hey, you're going to be for pre-rally, and maybe you're only going to be here for half of the first week of the rally. But you just have to move to a boondocking spot or whatever for the rest of the time. And fill your trailer up with water and dump the trailer and all that before you leave. And if you got a generator, you can run a generator out there. But I mean, you could do pre-rallies in everywhere. Then there's probably still some campground. Like I say, Pappy Oil still has some full hookups. Shade Valley still has some full hookups. The Buffalo Chip has some electric and water sites still left. Those ones go. But what's bad about all three of those, besides buying a campsite, you got to pay for a wristband. And they're getting high now. Some of these wristbands are getting up over $500 just for wristbands. So two people,
That's per person.
That's $1,000 for two people. Plus, you got to pay for the campsite. So you're getting around $2,000 now for a week of the rally.
You're welcome, David.
That's what I would say.
New grandbaby is adorable. Oh my gosh. David Eastwood and Linda just had a new grandbaby. Her name is Grace. And she's just beautiful. Can't believe it. God's blessings. All righty.
All right, I guess we're about done. So I'm getting tired too.
Fine.
90 people. We're down to 90. I lost 10 people. They're pooping out on me.
They are.
All right, so we got a lot of great stuff coming up. Tomorrow is a ride that we're going to show. It's a real short ride. Video's under 20 minutes, I believe. It's all finished. Well, it might be a little more than 20 because I ended up putting the 385. I wasn't going to put it on there, but it ended up being that we said at the end of the thing that we were going to go do the 385, and I figured everybody'd say, why didn't you show the 385? So I kind of made it really quick. So it's less than 30 minutes, I think. That video's tomorrow. Tuesday is the behind the scenes of what the hell's going on at Full Throttle Saloon. We got that one coming out. We are going to tell you everything you need to know about the Full Throttle Saloon for this year, 2025. And it's the facts, Jack. And what else we got for the rest of the week? We don't know. I've got some other videos that
Tuesday's going to be busy.
Yeah, Tuesday's going to be Wednesday's video. It'll be a video. We got a lot of interviews we're doing.
That might be a two-parter.
Yeah, it could
because
be.
we got a lot of interviews.
Yeah. So we'll see how that all turns out. There's something new on Main Street. Something that if you're a guy, you might want to check out. Well, even a gal might want to check it out. So we're going to get some lowdown on that and something new that's going on Main Street that's never happened in one long as I know, it's happened on Main Street. So that's going to be kind of cool and exciting for you to know about. And I got some more, a whole bunch of interviews going on Tuesday. So yeah, some of it will probably be on Wednesday, some will be on Thursday. And by then, the rain's supposed to stop Wednesday. So by Thursday, we'll have new stuff. If we end up going down to Hot Springs, we'll probably film that and show you what goes on in Hot Springs. It's supposed to be a good Mexican place down there. A couple other
And
places.
there's the mammoth sites down there. I'd like to go see that too. Where you can dig artifacts up for mammoths.
In the mud.
Yep.
And digging in the rain.
I don't know. We'll see. It depends on how cold it is. So, Neil, look at Steven's comment. That's all I'm going to say. They said good night. We appreciate everything. I was going to say something else. Steven, I'm going to call you in a little while too and tell you some.
Somebody wants to meet you, Steven. Wants you to find him a trike.
There you go.
A female.
Get too excited. Going to tell him. Just check it out. Oh, XM Biker came on. Hey there, how you doing?
We're just talking about Redbud.
Yeah, well, he lives down by Carbondale, but Redbud's close enough. Keep up the great work, Mike says. XM Biker saying hi to everybody. Indra's waving. All righty. Tam, are you able to do the wind caves? I don't know. I've been in a lot of caves. We used to go to Memory Caverns all the time. It's cold down there, too. But when it's hot and humid outside, the cave is nice. But right now, it's not nice.
She usually wears a jacket. If we go into caves, she's always wore a jacket.
So, anyway, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We hope you enjoyed it. We love all you guys. We thank you for all of your support and hope to see you guys all here. Be safe if you're coming out. Even if you're not coming out and you're out riding, be safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Heard of lots of accidents here lately.
That lady got killed last week here.
Don't want to hear any of that happening to any more of our subscribers. So don't forget to support our sponsors. They're the ones that get us all the videos to you guys to give you the great information. Tell them Bob and Tam sent you to go see them. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Share us with your family and friends. Give us a big thumbs up. Ring that bell for notifications, and we'll see you on the next video.
And where are we at?
We're at the Sturgis Brewing Company, right in Sturgis, South Dakota, right off the 90 and Junction. You can't miss it if you're coming off the 90. It's exit 32.
There you go. Check it all out because they let us sit here all evening talking to you guys for all we want was a pizza and two drinks, or one drink really. Yep. And so we appreciate them. Brian runs it. He used to own the Knuckle. He sold that and he kept the brewing company here. And so if you like,
they got lots of good food here.
Yeah. If you like the brew that is made specifically, they brew it all right here. You can see it through the windows there. Go back a couple years ago, we did a tour on it. This is the newest building in Sturgis.
There you go.
Just to let you know, I was thinking that when I was peeing in there a while ago, that this is the newest building. And I was saying it's so nice here. It's all nice and air conditioned, nice tables, seats. It's not noisy. Can't even hear the music anymore. But I mean, that's what they said. It's really a good place to come during the rally. They don't do anything special. They're thinking about maybe doing some barbecue. But he told us he'd talk to us in a couple of weeks and let us know if he got that figured out yet.
But they usually have a pretty good lunch crowd and then a pretty good dinner crowd.
They have a steak night too.
Yeah, I think that was on Thursday.
I think he said every night during the rally he had steak night.
But if you want to come like between 1:30, 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, that's kind of their lull time. So if you don't want a bunch of people or you just want to sit in here and relax and soak up some AC, this is the place to come during the rally. Great place, great people.
Yep, they don't raise the prices.
Tell them Bob and Tam sent you.
That's right. So we're going to leave you right here, and we'll see all of you on the video tomorrow.
See you soon.
Here you go.
Take care.